add some serious cash and a bit of razzmatazz, or in their words, make the game more watchable, accessible and entertaining, especially for younger audiences. But there's been a huge pushback, a massive no way from the current game. So what exactly is R360 and why is it controversial? Rugby union is facing challenges on a domestic level right now. There's huge financial instability across even top-tier clubs. The English game has seen leading clubs like Wasps, London Irish and Worcester go out of business in the top flight. The Welsh provincial game is in total disarray too. R360 says they would remove what are easily some clubs' biggest expenses, i.e. the big stars, and therefore make more of them profitable. So the plan is to inject a new lease of life into the sport. But how exactly? Top stars of the men and women's game playing for a franchise-based league with fixtures in cities like London, Miami, Tokyo and Lisbon. Each city would host a tournament featuring all the franchises during a short 3-month season. And though no players have officially confirmed, reports suggest around 200 have signed pre-contracts, some worth up to 750 grand. And if that's the pre-contract, you can imagine where the full wages will get to. Problem is, the rest of rugby says no. In fact, no way. The national unions from England, Scotland, Ireland, France, Italy, South Africa, New Zealand and Australia have declared any player joining R360 will be banned from test selection. World Rugby's also not approved the league. Many fear it echoes football's failed European Super League, a top-down, money-driven idea that could damage the sport's traditions. So is it dead already? Well, rugby union is at a crossroads. Some may be against it, but we know others are being swayed by the cash. So will everything work itself out? Or after the European Super League and Live Golf, have we got sport's next big scandal on our hands?
Goodness, it's going to be a hot one. Good morning to you. It's 4 minutes past 6. You are waking up to the talkSPORT Breakfast Show. It's me, Andy Goldstein, superstar Andy Townsend. He was so good yesterday. We said come back and he went, right then. And Arnold Clark, it's the perfect time to upgrade your car. Get 2 years free servicing when you buy a used car in the upgrade event. Check it out online. Oh, 33 morning, everyone. 33 degrees, Andy Townsend. What's all that about?
Good morning, everyone. 33 degrees. It's, do you know, and as soon as I stepped out the hotel door this morning, you just know, don't you? You just feel it straight away. Bang. You just go, it's going to be hot later.
Do you know what's interesting, Mike, is it's 33 degrees. Now, you're similar age to me. You're a little bit older, but we're in the same sort of age bracket. If we were running a marathon, we'd both tick the sort of over 50 box.
Correct.
I deal in old number. I don't deal in 33 degrees. I deal in 90. What would that be? Fahrenheit or what's the other one? I deal in that. I deal in the other one.
Right.
And all the kids in the office, when I go, yeah, it's going to be 90, and they go like, what? I go, it's going to be. They go, what's that mean? I go, oh yeah, it's going to be 30.
Actually,
what do you deal in?
No, I actually go. I would say, what's the temperature today? And normally, if I'm at home, my missus, she'd say, oh, it's 26 today.
Yeah.
Right. So we're dealing in that one now, which is what's that? That's.
So you double it and add 30.
Double it and add 30.
That's what I was. So 26 would be 82.
That's apparently pretty reliable. Pretty reliable.
But what one do you deal in? The centigrade or the Fahrenheit? I don't know which is which.
No, nor do I. But
what's your guess? I think 30, it's going to be 30 degrees.
I think it's
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit.
What is what we deal in?
No, what I deal in, which is the number.
No, I know, but do you deal in the big number?
No, the low number.
Oh, okay. So you don't do what I do.
No, not now. I just tend to, because on your phone, if you go on your phone and you look at the weather app, it's all in.
Right, I've just been told I deal in Celsius.
Right,
I've just been told by Sim.
So
oh no, hold on, no, I don't. You do. You do I deal in Fahrenheit. Is that right? Like the aftershave.
Right. Okay.
I'm Fahrenheit. You're Celsius.
There you go.
So, I thought you would be a Fahrenheit man.
Well, I probably always was, and until these damn phones, which now completely dominate our lives. And when I go on there, it just tells me it's 26, it's 27.
You can change it.
28.
You can change it.
Of course you can.
Yeah, I've done the weather app on mine. You'll see now that mine has got Fahrenheit on it.
Have you really?
It says London. Right? Oh,
London.
These things take so long. Why is that not working? How can that not work? Hold on, let's take the Wi-Fi off. Do you know how to take Wi-Fi off?
No.
Can we do a quiz later on iPhones for Andy?
Yes.
Can we do that?
I do know how to take Wi-Fi off.
So I am on Celsius.
There you go.
I need to change that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Look at that, it's getting to 33.
33 is extremely warm.
And we have both worn black today.
I know, I've got.
And you know, a lot of people
on.
think that's bad.
Correct.
It makes no difference, apparently.
Really?
It was on QI years ago.
Right.
Does wearing black make any difference to your body temperature in the sun? And apparently the answer is no.
Is that right?
Are you aware of that?
No, well, again, I always, like you, I would have always tried to avoid wearing black, certainly a black jacket or whatever, if it was getting a bit warm. So
just any jacket.
Any jacket, yeah. Right, but a black one in particular. But that's quite surprising, that to be fair. I did like QI. It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, great program.
Good program, that.
Yeah.
Fun.
I for years never understood why they had IQ around the wrong way. But you know why?
No.
Oh, do you not? Oh,
No.
QI. QI is Latin for something, but I can't remember what.
All right.
I think it's Latin for IQ.
Can we remember anything this morning? I mean, we've been on air for about 5 minutes and we haven't remembered anything.
I'll tell you what I've remembered. I'll tell you one of my favourite stories. We're going to cover it later on. Is the Saltburn cricket team.
Right.
Have you seen that with the clicking?
No. Oh, I did see him. I saw the lad in the slips. I saw that. Yes.
So let me just explain to people. There's a big story. It's gone far and wide. Like,
has it really?
Oh, Australia, New York. Everyone's gone with it. It's nuts. Where
we hate and certainly the British public hate cheat.
Yeah, we'll talk about cheating in sport later on, right? But so basically, the wicket keeper is obviously where he usually stands. Yeah. And to the right is one of the fielders. And when the bowler comes in, if there's a possibility that the ball could have nicked the bat,
yes,
the fielder goes, a little click, right?
Little click.
And the umpire goes,
I've heard something.
That's caught the bat. Hey, you're out.
Big appeal.
And apparently, the world record in modern day tests, this is true, is 7 caught behinds. This team, Saltburn, have got 8 in a season.
Oh wow. Wow.
And they've got the rest. So there's obviously something a little bit.
But how did he get? Who rumbled him? Because it's like village cricket.
It's a great question. There's video footage of this obtuse man behind going.
So he's obviously someone's thought this guy's got a bit of previous, or they're at it, or this team are renowned for it, and someone's filming him, haven't they? And
I want to know, how do you find out you've got a loud click? Have you got a loud click? I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah,
that's not bad. That's not loud enough for an umpire 20 foot away to go, I heard that.
No, very true. But you'd be surprised. It's only, and don't forget that the lad. I watched the shot as well. The bowler's come in and he stepped forward to play a little, and he's missed it, innit? And it's got to be the sort of delivery that goes past the bat, very close to making contact, and then.
I must point out, something just happened that's never happened in my 20 years of broadcasting.
Oh, no.
So just to let people know, I've got earphones on, as you have.
Yeah.
And my producer, anytime, can press a button and talk to me.
Yes.
He might go, get to a break, tell Andy to stop talking, both of you stop talking, drive me mad, or whatever.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, they keyed through, both of them. I just had that in my ear. I don't know if they're trying to... They're clicking in my ear, like it's loud.
Now as well.
But you understand that you're near a microphone, so it's going to sound loud in my ear anyway.
Yeah. But a little bit of creative cheating.
Yeah,
can't we have a little? Yeah. Can't we get our listeners to?
I've got a story about cheating in sport. I'll tell you later.
Oh no, but I'm not interested in at the top end of sport. Right, I'm more interested in the local sport.
Do you want me to tell you mine now?
Come on, yeah.
I played pitch and putt years and years ago. Like, I'm going back to when I was 15, 16 with a mate of mine. And he had this annoying habit of every time he teed off, would just walk to his ball. No, you got to wait.
Yeah, of course you
But
have.
you just walk to it. It's really we're young kids. You didn't really understand the laws of
Right.
of golf.
Well, and also it's potentially dangerous to walk off in front.
Right. So after about 3 holes, I'm like, he's getting on my nerves.
Yeah, so you fire
So,
one at him.
so I just throw my balls like as far as I can.
Okay.
And then I'll have the club in my hand, and then I'd come round like that. He'd look round at me, I'd be like that, and he'd go, "That's unbelievable."
Good shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him
Like
at the end.
it.
Yeah.
I like, but again, let's have some text, Dan, please.
All right, we'll do that on the back of Cricket Gate or Click It.
Click it.
Oh,
There you go.
Click It. You like that?
Click it.
Click It.
Yeah.
We'll
very
talk about
good.
that later on. If you've got stories of you cheating in sport, but at amateur level.
Yeah, amateur level. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
there's all sorts of accusations and we really can't afford them. So,
No,
so let's just stick to the local level.
Yeah,
and
let's do that.
and the amateur stuff.
Okay, if you're a cheat, 03717223344. Right, on to a bit of football. Now, the season's not even started yet. We've already lost one British club in the Champions League. Hearts lost 2-0 last night, 6-0 on aggregate to Strum Graz. They'll drop into the Europa League qualifications. It's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame that what's happened to Hearts. Rangers stole their manager, their captain, I think their captain as well. And now this has happened to them. Before the season started, they're out of the Champions League.
Yeah. Look, I think it was such an incredible season for them last year. They went so close. It was agony almost watching it in the end for Hearts, I'm sure, when they saw it starting to that lead starting to be whittled down and disappear, the chance of winning the SPL. But amazing season they had. And yeah, I again, with the Champions League, these early qualifying rounds that some teams have to go through, and they're getting, the players are back. The players must have been back. I don't know when they were back at Hearts.
2 weeks ago at least, right?
Oh, mate, more than that.
Really?
Or if you think about it, you've put a season's work to getting into the Champions League. Let's have a month trying to get ready to see if we can do something. And as it is, they get pumped 6 without reply.
Right,
so it's very, very difficult for teams to get ready for some of those. But hey, there you go. That's the world we live in.
Talk to the world we live in. The big story on the back of all the newspapers, and I think the front of quite a lot of them. Just when we thought we'd seen the back of Gianni Infantino for a while, he's back making headlines again. This is nuts. He and his best mate Donald Trump have angered pretty much everyone after revealing plans to sell stakes in the World Cup. Yeah, this is absolutely nuts. We'll talk about it in just a moment. Here's talkSPORT's Ben Jacobs with more.
This is in many ways the privatisation and capitalisation of the public game. So in essence, FIFA want to align their commercial arm with their operational one and create a body that's known as FFE, and that stands for FIFA Forward Enterprise. And in essence, to fund that and have the money trickle down to all 211 member associations, they need private investment. And FIFA are billing this as everyone wins commercially, but the reality is that the very entity of FIFA would effectively have a parent company, and then in that parent company, the member associations would be given the opportunity to have a stake and also the voluntary opportunity to earn what is billed as up to $20 million in one-off capital. So that's almost like a joining.
But he explained it very well.
Explained it very well.
It's a bit nuts, right? If you're still unaware of what's really going on, quite a few newspapers explain it quite well. Basically, FIFA are going to set up, this is what I don't get, they're going to set up a firm for the operational delivery of FIFA tournaments called FIFA Forward Enterprise, which will effectively control the men's and women's World Cup. So they're going to set up another company, which basically does the job of FIFA.
Yeah,
but it means that they control this company. Sure. And here's the kicker. This is so clever. So there's about 211 members of FIFA.
Yeah.
If they vote for this, now imagine you're a member, right? If they vote for this, they'll acquire shares. They'll each get roughly £15 million. Now, if I said to you, I'm setting up another firm that looks after talkSPORT, it's probably illegal, right? But if you come in with me, I'll give you £15 million. Everyone in this building is going to go, yeah, that's not enough. Yeah. Give me my 50. I mean, it's nuts. It's disgusting, isn't it?
Well, look, if you think about what happened, Andy, with the club, the Super League, the proposed Super League, that very quickly, once everyone started to sort of come to terms with what they were offering there, that very quickly got shot down and put away and fined to the dustbin. So, or for the time being, I might add. And I would imagine, considering certainly on these shores, the outcry this morning with regards to this proposal, I would think it would be something very similar. UEFA have been very strong in their condemnation of it.
Very strong.
Very, very strong. Turning and saying, hold on a minute, you don't own the game. You don't. And it's absolutely right. We don't want the game run by corporations, financial institutions, etc., shaping and moulding the future of our game, what our future competitions look like, etc., etc. It is just a non-starter for
Disgusting.
me. I don't get it. And of course, Gianni Infantino steps down in 2031 as the FIFA president. That's when his kind of term runs out. And then this proposal has suggested that maybe he might be in line to be running this latest enterprise for significant amounts of money, and that he would profit individually an awful lot from it. Now, again, come on. Anyone who looks and analyses and sees any of this stuff will just look at it in horror and realise that it can't happen. It can't happen.
It shouldn't happen. One of the big investors, one of the favourites for it, one of the proposed investors, is a guy called Joshua Kushner, who, would you believe it, is a younger brother of Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
Yeah, exactly. So look, and
I'd go so far as to say that Infantino needs to be sacked, removed from his role straight away. I think it's absolutely disgusting what he's done. It's not his game to sell. That's the bottom line. It's not his game to sell.
It's not. Well, this has landed this morning, and everyone will no doubt have that, and we'll be talking about it, I'm sure, on the show this morning. But everyone will now be forensically analysing all these proposals, and I'm sure be very interested in the response, if there is one from FIFA today or tomorrow. Be interested in what that says.
Well, the man that broke the story, the Times' Martin Ziegler, will be on our show in just over an hour, so stick around for that. By the way, talking of great shows, what a show we've got for you today. So Max Scott, the wonderful Max Scott from talkSPORT, is out in Portugal with Nottingham Forest. He's a Forest fan. It's ridiculous. They get their pre-season underway. Joining us on today's show will be their new gaffer, Oliver Glasner. He'll be chatting to you and I, and their captain, Ryan Yates. But that's not all. We'll also be joined by Spurs and Belgium legend Toby Alderweireld as well will be on our show.
Great.
How good's that for a Wednesday breakfast show?
Proper guest.
That's the best. You won't get better than that, so stay where you are. It's 18 minutes past 6. It's the breakfast show. It's talkSPORT. We'll be back right after this.
What do you make of the noise over the last 24 hours that Jordan Henderson and Danny Welbeck are being heavily linked as to be players for Chelsea this season?
I can see the reason and why. I can see why, Alonso done it when he was at Leverkusen. He brought Xhaka in. He had a few, older heads to play with, a lot of the youngsters, what he had in and around the squad to help him, because that's what they do. The older players help the coach, the manager, because they can see it. They've been there, they've done it. And I can see why, Danny obviously had a great season last season, very unlucky not to get the call up to the England squad. Jordan, obviously, a freak accident at the World Cup. And probably because I think, when you look at Jordan, everyone sort of forgets that he was Liverpool captain, won the title with Liverpool, played all them games for Liverpool, and you don't do that and play at a top level club like that if you're not a top level player. So again, you can see he's got he buys into an environment, he buys into what you want, and as a manager, you've got nothing but love for that, because you need your players to buy in, and if he's buying into it and they see it, young players go with them lads who've been there and done it, and when he's got the experience of getting over the line in them moments as well, there's nothing better when you're in them, and I think that's where Chelsea have got to, because they've been a bit up and down. They've got real good quality, genuine quality, but then you've been seeing them in games where they just haven't had the knack to sort of see a game out, or what do we
minutes past 6. You're listening to The Breakfast Show, a hot breakfast show. Yeah, with me, Andy Goldstein Andy Townsend. Now, we touched on it earlier. It's going to be a really hot day, all right? Dress accordingly, whatever that means. The Met Office have said London and the South East could be hitting a blistering 35 degrees Celsius. That's double it, 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
In this day and age,
In old money.
Quick question, Andy.
Yeah.
In this day and age, Angelina, are people allowed to go to work in shorts?
Well, that's an unbelievable question. We should say hello before we move on to our back pages. Angelina Kelly, welcome back.
Hello. Lovely to
How are
see
you?
both. I'm all right. Got a bit of post World Cup cold, but
I've got that.
Yeah.
That's from.
It's hard because we were working so much. We'd non-stop, weren't we?
It's that. It's definitely that, and it's nothing to do with the aircon
No.
that literally dries you as you walk into a shop. It's so cold,
Yeah.
and then it's hot, and then it's, and you've got a bit of jet lag, right?
Yeah, I'm still struggling.
I'm told that it's a day for every hour time difference. It takes you to get over it. So it's 5 hours. So it should take you
Do
5
I count
days.
Mexico City? Am I still on Mexico
Oh, you went
time?
there? Oh, you were.
Yeah,
That's why you were all over.
This is it. I mean, I did the whole thing of staying up when I landed, etc. But I'm still. But then for today, getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it was all right.
Oh, well, okay, that's good.
So I'll just carry it on for next week.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Eating habits.
What?
Eating habits.
What's that
right?
mean?
So
Are
basically,
you like
Angelina-
4 hours ahead of us?
No, basically, a lot of the football teams, when they travel away for matches, right, they're conscious of jet lag and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So they don't, like on the planes, you get on a plane to go long haul,
Yeah.
and at 10 o'clock, they're bringing you a big plate full of grub,
Yeah.
right, on the plane. And no, don't have that. Don't eat that. Don't, because it's the eating that kicks your body totally out of sync.
I think we've all learned something today.
Yeah,
On that
we
note,
have.
it's time to look at the back pages with Costa Express.
The Costa Coffee Break on talkSPORT, sponsored by Costa Express. Get a regular Costa Express iced coffee as part of your Tesco meal deal at participating Tesco stores. Terms and conditions apply.
On the subject of eating, every morning about 6 o'clock, maybe about 6:15, we get a basket of fruit. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Today's an afterthought for us. I just looked at the fruit, and it's someone's gone, oh, we haven't done talkSPORT. Chuck some grapes in, a strawberry, an avocado. I mean, honestly, it's terrible out there. Honestly, whoever's responsible for today's, dear, oh dear.
Not good enough.
It's not good enough, is it?
No, I'll have a word with someone.
Could you do that? Have you got that power? Because we haven't.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll throw my weight around. But back pages, front pages, it's all about, red card for FIFA's plan to sell the World Cup for sale, etc. I know you guys have been talking about it. Gianni Infantino planning to sell stakes in the World Cup to private investors under a scheme that could potentially earn him tens of millions of pounds. People have had their say. UEFA have issued a statement. This crosses a line that footballing's governing institution should never cross. UEFA takes it extremely seriously, so should every National Football Association. Andy Burnham, the Prime Minister, has had his say on X. Football does not belong to investors. It belongs to people who fill the stands and who stand on the touchline week in, week out, rain or shine. The World Cup is not a product. It's the greatest competition in world sport, and it was never anyone's to sell.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to be cynical here, this is Gianni Infantino's big attempt to, make money for himself, stay in power.
Yeah.
This ego is out of control. We've had the rant post-World Cup that everyone's a hater. I think he's been spending a bit too much time with Donald Trump, in my opinion. The ego is too much, isn't
Yeah.
it?
But let me ask you this. If you were part of FIFA and you were part of the 211 staff that would each get £15 million if it went through, would you vote for him?
That's it, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. He's got my vote.
Yeah, and this is what makes it difficult. And I'm interested to see what UEFA do with this situation, because they've hinted that they will boycott. We don't know if they will, but the amount of power that UEFA have, in the sense of, you look at a World Cup, if UEFA are not in it, that's some of the biggest nations that wouldn't be.
It doesn't work,
competing.
Angelina, does it? It wouldn't. It wouldn't possibly be the same competition if the major European nations refused to take part in it. So I think, and looking at, as you mentioned, UEFA's response yesterday, I would think a follow up to that won't be too far away, in that sort of language that. Well, they're gonna advise everyone not to take part in it, not to have anything to do with it whatsoever. And if that happens, then it's a non-starter straight away. Surely it's finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree, and we'll have to wait and see. But you think about even who's won the World Cup. You've got Uruguay, you've got Brazil, you've got Argentina. The rest of the teams are European. So I agree. It'll be interesting to see how that's going to work. Regarding another story, though, Vinicius Junior
Yes, what's the latest on that?
to Arsenal. So we've got no way, Jose. There's a lot of conflicting stories with this one because we're hearing that Real Madrid do not want Vinicius Junior to leave. They're eager to keep him at the club. They're briefing the press that they don't want him to go anywhere. They're confident that he'll sign a new deal. talkSPORT understands that they won't let him go for free in a year. So he either signs the contract in the summer
Or goes down.
or gets sold. I mean, I don't want to get Arsenal fans' hopes up too much, but this isn't done yet. I mean, do Arsenal need to be pushing for this?
I think it's all about contract negotiations. I don't think they're even realistically thinking about coming to Arsenal.
Well, and the player in this situation, Angie, just sits there very quiet. He's getting on
His
with
agent's done a great job.
And he's got everybody around him that are engineering whatever situation they want to right now, whether that's a new deal at Real Madrid or whether or not who are the other interested parties out there as well as Arsenal. That's their job to get all that on the table for the player, and then they'll make a call on it. But yeah, it's very interesting. I'd love to see him come and play in the Premier League. I really would.
I think his agent's doing a great job. By the way, if the pals at talkSPORT are listening, my agent is speaking to Magic FM today about their breakfast show. That's all I'm saying. It's just Magic FM and Hospital Radio nearby as well.
Yeah.
The other story that I found amazing, we talked about it at the top of the show, was Cricketgate or Clicketgate, right? You're aware of this?
I am very much aware of this. I've seen the video. I just can't believe it. You see him click.
Let me ask you this: how good you click?
Is that?
It's not bad. Go move back a bit.
Yeah.
Hold on. Now do it.
How's that? See, that's what it was.
Hold on. Who's got a better click? Hold on. I was going to go 2 there.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's not bad. Go on, Andy. You go back up. No, you're too close to the mic. Go back. How's that? That works, doesn't it?
See, it does.
Can you get the sound, Ed? Can you get the sound effect? Not now. Oh, excuse me. Of a ball being bowled, and then we can try it. We can try with the click later on. That'd be nice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
nice.
That's someone getting a hit with a ruler at school.
Try again. Andy, you are disgusting in class today. There you go. It works. Angelina, what superstar you are? When are you back in?
in about 15 minutes.
Could you? I want to do a quiz for Andy about his iPhone.
Oh, a quiz about why? What's going on with your
because
iPhone?
yesterday he struggled even turning it on.
Are you not very tech-savvy with the phone?
No, not really. And it was making funny noises at me yesterday. And
that was called ringing.
Yeah. But don't feel bad about that, because some of the guys I was at the World Cup with, who are younger than me, in their mid to late 20s, were having tech support issues.
What, with a phone?
Everything, laptops, emails, you name it. I was mother, tech support, you name it, having to do it all. So we'll figure your phone out.
All right. Can we do some kind of phone quiz in 15 minutes?
I'm on it. Don't worry.
That'd be amazing. You're amazing, Angelina. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
That was all thanks to our wonderful friends at Costa Express. By the way, if you've cheated at sport, like low-level sport, we want to hear from you. 03717 223344 629. Good morning, everyone. It's the Breakfast Show on talkSPORT.
The Costa Coffee Break on talkSPORT, sponsored by Costa Express. Get a regular Costa Express iced coffee as part of your Tesco meal deal at participating Tesco stores. Terms and conditions apply.
Chaps, how are you?
We're good, man. How you doing today?
Morning,
You all right?
Jeff.
You well?
I'm all right. Goldstein, are you on the wind-up with this Kane to Chelsea thing?
Well, no. I never said it. I asked the question.
Yeah, you done it on purpose, so I'd ring up, didn't you?
Sol Campbell went to Arsenal, didn't he?
No, I knew you was going to come
Tevez
up
went to
with
Man
that.
City. It happens. Definitely happens.
Listen. Kane is proper Tottenham. Don't you know that? Don't you know that?
I know he's proper I know that. I don't think he would do that.
Of course he wouldn't. So why are you talking about it and winding me up
Jeff,
for?
let me ask you this. Jeff.
I've been working all night on a night shift, right? I'm going home, right? I was all chilled out and relaxed, looking forward to going home.
Now you're all bitter and twisted.
Sorry, Jeff. Sorry.
And now I switched, right? And now you're winding me up with this. I'll tell you what, if Kane goes to Chelsea, I'll do anything you say. Anything you want.
Well, that sounds weird.
Anything.
I mean, I would.
No.
There's nothing I would say.
You want. No, if you want me to put an Arsenal shirt on the one down Tottenham High Road, I'll do it, right? I'm proper Tottenham. I was born in Park Lane behind the ground, right? From a baby till I was 17, right? My boy works there as a development coach, and I've worked there on and off, right, in different capacities. I'm telling you.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
Morning, everyone. Good morning to you. A hot good morning as well. It's 6:34. You're listening to The Breakfast Show. It's me, Andy Goldstein Andy Townsend, alongside Andy Townsend. Is desperate to say something beginning with the letter W.
No. Yeah, it's very good.
What?
Good chat.
What?
Best and the worst jobs this sort of weather.
That's a great question.
Right, because I was thinking if you're driving a train, I mean, I would imagine that's pretty hot at the front of a train, but you'd think you got a bit of aircon, same as in a bus. I mean, most
You got aircon in a bus?
I would have thought. I would.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
You'd think so.
Yeah, okay.
I would have thought so. Otherwise, they're going to.
I don't know. It's just a big old unit, isn't it? The bus.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm thinking, if you
digging a ditch, that's quite bad. Working outside is bad today.
No, but they might enjoy it. The ground's dry. If you're digging, at least there's nothing worse when it's wet and the ground is like you can hardly get your shovel or your spade into the ground. You know, that's a nightmare.
Into the floor.
That's a nightmare when it's soaking wet.
Yeah.
And whereas at least it's dry, so you can get something done. You can be a bit more productive.
All right. Best job, lifeguard.
Best job.
Sitting out, getting a tan.
Sitting out and getting
have a little dip.
Yeah.
Worst job. What would worst job be?
Jonathan, worst.
I'll tell you what one of the worst jobs is.
Go on.
You know, outside some of the places in London, you see the fellas with the Busby hats on, guarding the garden, sat on a horse.
Yes.
I've described that so badly, by the way. What are they called? The soldier people.
The Busbys, the hats.
Yeah. What are they called?
They're the Queen's Guards, aren't they?
Beefeaters. Are they beefeaters? Beefeaters. Yeah, they are beefeaters.
Should I say the King's Guards?
The King's Guards, yeah. Well, they were the Queen's. He inherited them.
But that actually there have been some stories of those guys. Literally, you're right, because they're standing there in boiling hot weather with all the with all their outfit on, just like eventually sort of just passing out and keeling over and what have you. So yeah. But there you go. Best and worst, I wonder, for this type of weather.
I love the way your brain works. It's unbelievable.
Well,
Isn't it?
It's the sort of stupid thing I think about.
No, keep them coming. That's what we love. By the way, have we got people phoning up about cheating about sport? Have we got that? If you cheated...
What about the Bryson one the other day in the golf?
Yeah, that was insane.
I mean, when he's stepping all over the grass to kind of improve his lie, you can't, and trying to justify it afterwards. Come on, I mean, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, but if I play golf and my ball goes into the rough and I find it and there's stuff, I'm moving stuff. Well, I'm not playing in the World Championships. You know what I mean?
That's what everyone says.
It's
You're
like
only cheating yourself.
I'm not cheating myself. I'm enjoying. When I play golf, it's to enjoy the day.
There's not one amateur golfer out there that hasn't at some point improved his lie, just moved the ball a tiny little bit.
You play golf, right?
Of course I do.
Okay, if you go off, we'll go to Aldo and just say you're on the tee.
Yes.
You go, whoa, and it looks like you've sliced it right, and it looks like it's gone out of bounds.
Yeah.
It looks like. Do you take a provisional, or do you go down find it and go, I can't find it?
If I'm playing with the lads and we're just messing about, I walk down there.
Yeah.
If it's inbounds, great. If it's out of bounds, I drop the ball.
I play with someone. It's like no.
You got to walk back.
Provisional. I'm like, no, it's fine. Provisional. Or if it goes out of bounds, 2 clubs to them and then drop it from your knee.
Yeah.
Drop it from my knee. How's that? I mean, surely that changes depending on your own height.
Oh, golf has got some amazing rules.
Yeah, just play golf as you enjoy.
But it's quite at an amateur level. It's quite easy to just cheat a tag.
Oh, I don't cheat.
Of course you do.
I'm bending the rules. I don't cheat. I'll never get a 6 and go 5. I'll never do that.
All right.
I'll never kick a ball out if it's behind a tree. I'll never do that. Right? No, I'll never do that. I know that people from my club are listening, but I'll never do that.
Always know the ones that when you go, how did you get there? And they're going, hold on, 1, 2, 4, 5. You know they're the ones that are cheating straight away, don't you, when they start adding them up?
Yeah.
Before they just
fire. They go 4. I've got 4 there. We will continue to talk about football throughout today's show, as you would imagine. Just quickly, before we talk about Italy, France yesterday appointed Zinedine Zidane as their new head coach, replacing Didier Deschamps after 14 years. Yeah. You saw that?
I did see that. Look, and Zidane had, he had some illustrious spells, a couple of illustrious spells at Real Madrid, and I think is regarded by many as France's greatest ever.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah, okay. I was just throwing in Platini.
Yeah, I mean, again,
but
people might say that.
Okay, you probably Zidane. You're right. Yeah,
and I think that probably inevitable that he was going to take the job at some point, having just come up a little bit short during the summer. The French team, he's got some great young players to work with. It'd be interesting how they respond to him and whether or not he can find that extra little dimension that's required, because they've got such a powerful squad of players.
Well, staying with international football, the mastermind behind this victory is now back in the Italy dugout.
Penalty number 5 for England. He has to score. Saka against Donnarumma, left foot in, and it has been saved. It just isn't meant to be. It's Italian glory. It's England heartbreak.
Yeah, bonkers week for Italian football directors. Maldini, Leonardo, they resigned. Pirlo was overlooked for the manager's job amid ties to a Russian betting firm. Claudio Ranieri is now technical director, and Roberto Mancini is the new head coach. So for more on this, let's say a very good morning to a big Chelsea fan, celebrity Italian chef. Join us. It is Aldo Zilli. Aldo, good morning to you.
Morning, Andy. How are you?
We're good, very well.
Morning, Andy.
Morning,
I've got 2 Andys for the price of 1.
Yes.
2 Andys for the. I like the way already, even though at 6:40 you are protecting your eyes from the sun and your head from it as well.
All right, I'm doing all of that now. There you go.
Looking good. It's like the Masked Singer, isn't it? At the end of that. Thanks.
That's more like it, isn't it?
I've got questions about the World Cup for you, but shall I just move on from that? Did you enjoy it at all?
Well, I loved the World Cup. I really enjoyed it. I mean, you guys didn't do too bad, except the fact that you didn't take my lovely boy called Palmer. You would have done better without Anderson, but there you go.
Let's talk about your team.
I
know. Mancini. Is his return better news than Pirlo taking over, do you think?
100 million%, because we were going into the dark with Pirlo, I think. Mancini, we know what we're getting. Mancini now is definitely not doing it for money. He's doing it because he's passionate. He's obviously Italian. We got an Italian manager. He loves working with young players, so he'll probably bring on a few young players like he did with Retegui and Keane. It's a win-win with Mancini at this point, because to be fair, we got no one else. We were going in a very dark place with other young managers. Also, we are no Pep, no Ancelotti, no Conte. Where are you going to go?
Yeah, interesting it is. Do you know, Aldo, what staggers me with Italian football? Throughout all of my childhood and for all of my playing career, you had superstars playing in your national team. And I mean some of the very best players that were playing anywhere in world football. Genuine superstars. I just don't understand how the Italian national team can no longer find a striker, can no longer produce some of these sort of guys that can elevate your game again and get you playing in the major competitions once more. It just staggers me how Italy can't seem to find those players.
We don't give the youngsters a chance. If you look at, places like Como, for example, my son was in the academy there. I saw it firsthand. What happens? They don't really give the Italian boys a chance, and they rather bring in. I mean, for example, Como hasn't got one Italian player, and they're playing in the Champions League next year.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The manager's done an amazing job, and it's just not. They're not coming through. They're not coming through, because that's why I think people like Mancini might start new and might start something that we might want to see again in 4 years' time. That's really the idea.
Aldo, let's talk about Chelsea. And it's interesting we go from Italy to Chelsea because, of course, the last time Italy were in the World Cup was 2014. And you brought in two players that were in their pomp in 2014 in Danny Welbeck and Jordan Henderson. What have you made of those two players? Look like they're joining your club.
God, don't get me started.
That good?
Wow.
It's not great, man. We're not a retirement home. We just need, we got so many young players. All of a sudden now we're going granddads. It's not really what we are about.
Don't you think, Aldo? Don't you think
maybe Welbeck will give us some goals.
Don't you think that was the problem, though, for Chelsea, that there were too many young kids and there wasn't enough experience in that dressing room?
Yeah, but we got a manager now. We got a serious manager. We got someone that is going to give those kids a good chance. We got someone that's going to, in the dressing room, is going to be a completely different person, and not that the old man. We just been really low on managing the team altogether. We bought players for no reason sometimes. We got so many players that we got to get rid of. I think buying two, not oldies, but Welbeck will still bang in a few goals next year.
Yeah.
Anderson, I'm not sure. You took him to the World Cup, so I don't know. He was a passenger there, and I don't want him to be a passenger at Chelsea. That's all I'm saying.
Just quickly, you're at Chris Evans, the legend. Is Chris Evans' Car Fest at Silverstone on Saturday and Sunday. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, well, Chris Evans is, as you know, is a very, very good old friend, and every year I wanted to do the Car Fest, but there's always I'm always on holiday, and this year it came to the right time, and I'm here the last weekend of August. So I'm at the Car Fest in Silverstone. I'm doing a big barbecue on the Saturday and then a big demo on the Sunday for them. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm a car, as I'm Italian, so cars for me, car fanatic. Hopefully there'll be a few Ferraris.
I'm sure there will. Aldo, always a pleasure. Thanks, pal, for coming on. Nice to catch up.
Great to speak.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks,
man.
Ciao, 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 ciao.
Ciao. There you go, celebrity Italian chef, huge Chelsea fan, the wonderful Aldo Zilli with us there. Still to come on The Breakfast Show.
Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Spend £100 or more with a Travis Perkins trade account and you could win a brand new Ford Ranger. T's and C's apply.
Oh, what banger that is. The anthem of Nottingham Forest. Huge show coming up for that very reason. talkSPORT's Max Scott is live at their Portugal training camp, catching up with Ryan Yates. Andy and I will be speaking live at 9 a.m. to the manager, the new manager, Oliver Glasner. And as if that wasn't enough, former Spurs defender Toby Alderweireld will be joining us at 8 a.m. Let's hope I have done a better job of pronouncing his name than the legend that is Alan Brazil. Have a listen.
Toby how do you spell it? How do you say it? Is it Alderweireld? Toby. You know what I mean? Toby. Toby.
I think maybe I'll just go for Toby. I read that whole line, and when I saw let's hope I can do a better job, I thought I better say it right. Yeah. Toby Alderweireld will be joining us at 8. That was our breakfast preview with our wonderful friends at Travis Perkins, 6:47.
Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Spend £100 or more at any Travis Perkins Hire or Benchmarks branch as a trade account holder and you could win a brand new Ford Ranger. T's and C's apply.
The Vinny Junior situation is interesting because I think when it came out of the weekend that Arsenal were keen, we all thought, well, how can they do that deal? He's on 400 grand a week. He'd smash Arsenal's pay structure. Yeah. Real Madrid, even though he's stalling on signing a new contract, are going to want a six-figure sum. But if they sign Diamonde, as looks likely, how do the two fit into the same team? And I think what's really interesting here, and Ben Jacobs, I think, has mentioned this a couple of times, they've got the same agent, Vinicius Junior and Yan Diamonde. So would his agency take Diamonde to Real Madrid knowing that he's going to compete with Vinicius Junior? I don't think Vinicius Junior to Arsenal is as fanciful as maybe it first appeared.
Now, when you look at Arsenal, they probably will. They've just got rid of Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard's gone.
So that's a space need, and they've only got Martinelli on that left-hand side. So they do need somebody else. Who is that person that's going to be able to fill in that space for them? Because there's not a large selection around the world, is there, Quickie?
No, I thought it would be Morgan Rogers, to be honest. I thought that.
Good morning, everyone. It's 6:50. It's flying by today. It's always a good sign. It's a very hot day, so make sure you dress accordingly. You are listening to the talkSPORT Breakfast Show. It's the two Andys today. Me, Andy Goldstein Andy Townsend. Andy, can you ask me what we know on Wednesday? Just say, what do we know Wednesday?
Andy, what do we know on Wednesday?
Great question. Well, Hearts will face the winner of St Gallen or Benfica in the Europa League third qualifying round after crashing out the Champions League 6-0 in aggregate against Sturm Graz. Despite reports on social media claiming that Tottenham's new £87 million midfielder Matheus Fernandes is injured, it's believed those rumours are untrue.
Ah, good. Well, that's good.
That is good. And with talk of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, that fight taking place in the USA, former bantamweight champion of the world, the brilliant Carl Frampton, told talkSPORT that it's a must to be held in the UK.
I think it's a much bigger fight in Britain than it is in the States. I think, you know, boxing in the States isn't the sport that it used to be anyway. It's not a huge fight in America. It's still a big fight, but it's a massive, monstrous fight in the UK. and it does deserve to be here. I also get Tyson Fury's point where he's saying, look, the guy is paying for it wants it in New York, so that's where it has to be. But I get both angles, but I want it to be in the UK. These guys have been brought up in the UK. They've got a UK fan base. They've been backed by the fans in the UK, not America. Has to be in the UK.
It has to be. Has to be.
Gotta be.
It's all about the money, though. If you are suffering, by the way, I don't know if any of you are, if you're suffering from Simon Jordan withdrawal and want to hear his voice again, then don't worry. He's back on the latest episode of Talk Boxing on the Boxing YouTube channel. And for more boxing, there is a huge night of action live from Dublin this Saturday night. Pierce O'Leary and Mark Chamberlain, they headline at the 3 Arena as O'Leary puts his IBO World Super Lightweight title on the line in his first defence, while the British Southpaw gets his first world title shot after stepping up from lightweight. So join DAZN Ultimate for 185 plus fights and 12 plus pay-per-views every year, including Atoma against Hrgovic and Ryan Garcia against Conor Benn, all included at no extra cost.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
Do you remember this one? Another Brick in the Wall, bit of Pink Floyd?
Yeah, wonderful song.
Angelina Kelly's back with us in the studio. How are you all?
I am all good.
Good to see you again. Why are we playing this? What's going on?
Well, there is an article today in one of the newspapers about girls being smarter than boys. So teachers are predicting lower exam grades for boys and girls who go on to get the same report. So researchers identified a consistent pro-girl gap in predicted grades across 10 A-level subjects. Analysed data from more than 350,000 students, girls were 11% likelier than boys to have their grades over-predicted and up to 41% less likely to have them under-predicted. They reckon it's the halo effect because teachers translate hard work and good behaviour by female students into over-inflated academic predictions. What were you guys like in school?
That's sexist, by the way, that is.
Not having it.
Imagine coming in here saying men are cleverer than women. God, dear.
Lacked concentration, me.
I was terrible at school, yeah.
That was always on my school report. If he paid a bit more attention, he could do quite well in this subject. Lacked concentration. And actually, Angelina, as a mini Pole in my family, got an elder.
You were Polish, were you?
No. My eldest is a boy, youngest is a boy. My daughter in the middle. She was far better in her concentration and her schoolwork than the two boys.
I've got two. My eldest is very much like my wife, very clever. My little one's like me, and she'll just bluff her way through life.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good skill in itself.
No, look at me now.
Look at you.
I'm working. It's not even 7 a.m. yet.
Mine was always talking too much.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
I know. Who'd have thought it? Hey?
My little one, right? My little one, she's 14, so I say little. When she was about 4 or 5, she got her first school report, and it just said something along the lines. It said, finds it difficult to concentrate in class, but she wears glasses. Her Eric Morecambe impression is amazing. Because I taught her at a young age, going, "Hey," like that. So she used to do that in class. That's on her very first school report.
We're talking about cheating, right, in sport. I'm going to own up to my school report. When I used to get my school report, did you open it and read it before you give it to your mum and dad?
I can't remember.
Mine used to get posted to the house, so I couldn't get hands on it.
So we used to take ours home, right? And I'd always open mine and have a look.
Why are they giving it to the kids? That's ridiculous.
And all my minuses all became a plus before my mum got to see it.
So, F minus was F plus. He's a clever boy, our Andy.
Yeah, a C minus or something. Very, very soon became a C plus, which has kind of got that better positive feel about it.
Angela, you look like the person that would never cheat at any kind of sport or school reportage or turning minuses into pluses.
Not with school reports or anything like that. I was always very good at school. But sports, competitive family, the Kelly family. Yeah. So when it was...
Have you cheated at sport?
Well,
Have you cheated at sport?
Yeah, a little bit, I'll be honest. So when it used to come to sports day, and this is when I was, primary school probably, you used to have that ring, that donut that you'd have to carry on your head and keep it straight.
Oh, yes.
My mum, and I'm sorry, Jackie, I know you're listening at the moment, I'm having to reveal the family secret. She used to tell me, tie your hair in a bun on top of your head.
That's unbelievable.
Then the donut's not going to fall off. She was like, and I could see her, she'd be like, tie your hair up. Now I'd have a bobble all ready to go. She'd be like, get that hair up. And I'd always win that one.
That's unbelievable cheating.
But you know what? There was something else actually that I've just remembered. There was a competition where you had to design a tie. You had to like colour this tie.
Well, like a tie you wear around your neck.
No, so it was like a paper. Well, it was just on a piece of paper, but you had to. It was a stencil of like a tie. You had to design it. Everyone was surprised that in year 3, Angelina had somehow managed to draw perfectly the Angelina ballerina mouse. My mum had traced it, and I was sat there going, "Mum, we're not going to get away with this. Like, don't worry about it." Before.
And you won it.
The only giveaway, Angela, was when you used to walk out.
Vouchers.
The only giveaway when you used to walk out the school gates at 4 o'clock and that donut was still on your head.
Yeah, that'd be it. I'd have to remember to take it off.
Talking of donuts, I understand you've done a quiz for Andy. Is that right?
Yes, I've got a couple of questions here because I know you've been struggling with your phone.
Come on in.
So regarding iPhones, if you want to turn your phone flashlight on, which gesture should you use? Do you swipe down from the very centre of the top of the screen, swipe down from the right corner of the screen, swipe up from the bottom of the screen, or double tap the back of the phone?
That's if I want to get the torch, the flashlight on. It's normally there on the bottom left-hand corner. I can see it sometimes. I'll just have to...
Sometimes?
But let's say it's not there. No cheating, no cheating.
But it's not there.
No, it's not there now, so what are you doing?
So you go to a dark room, you got your phone.
So I think I would swipe from top right down. To bottom
Yes!
Wow,
Congratulations, that's correct.
Well done.
Now, you've got a lot of apps. You can't find the one that you need. What is the fastest way to search for an app on your phone? Do you open the settings and look for the list? Do you just restart the phone to see the main apps? Do you ask Siri to open every app one by one?
I don't know Siri.
Or do you swipe down on the middle of the home screen?
I would go to my apps page where they all are really, and then but it would take me a while to get there.
Yeah.
Eventually, just locate it.
Yeah.
And find it that way. I didn't know there's a shortcut.
No, you swipe down from the middle of the home screen. That pulls the spotlight search and allows you to search for any app or contacts.
just put a
or
letter in.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you put your phone on silent mode? Do you tell Siri to turn the volume down? Do you press the action button on the left side of the phone? Do you shake the phone from side to side quickly or press the power button once?
Or pass it to your co-host.
I asked Andy Goldstein to do it for me, which he did yesterday.
Go on.
It's the little button on the side is all I would ever do, really.
Which side?
Left
or right?
The
Cheating
left.
again.
Left at the top.
Correct,
Left
yes.
at the top.
How do you take a screenshot? Press the side
Great
button
question.
and volume up at once. Shake the phone vigorously 3 times.
Yeah.
Press and hold the power button for 5 seconds. Or triple tap the charging port at the bottom.
Wow.
Have you ever taken the screenshot? You know those.
Yes, I have.
You know those pages you keep.
I
looking at?
have taken a screenshot, and usually I am holding one button at the bottom and one on the right-hand side, and sort of pressing both at the same time.
Button at the bottom, is there?
At the
You know
No,
what?
there isn't.
No, there isn't. That
Making
doesn't
buttons up.
exist. Yeah.
I would say.
What are you taking screenshots of? I'm a bit worried about this.
No, well,
What are you doing?
no. If ever I want to
Disgusting,
take a
mate.
picture of
What are you
something,
taking screenshots of?
I don't know.
Well,
And I do get there. I am able to do it.
well, you were kind of right. You pressed the side button and the volume up.
Side button and volume. Thank you.
I do. Thank you for that.
You're
You've
very
just
welcome.
highlighted how stupid we both are. Are you coming back in later on?
No, I think.
Are you
I'm
done for the
now,
day? She done for the day?
I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay, it's like half day.
I know.
It's 7 o'clock. All right. Well done.
Thank you
Keep
very
up
much.
the great work. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
We're not done. A reminder, we are joined at 9 a.m. by the new Nottingham Forest manager, Oliver Glasner. A little bit later on, we'll have the captain, Ryan Yates, as well. And get that, ex-Premier League defender, Toby Alderweireld, will be with us from 8 a.m. That's an hour's time. So much coming up in today's breakfast show. It's just approaching 7 a.m. Morning, everyone. I've read this a couple of times now. I can't help but think when he comes up with lines about people criticising the refereeing decisions and puts lines in his quotes such as "I'm sorry you missed it all," I can't help but think there's a little dig towards the head of UEFA there, Alexander Seferin.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Obviously, Seferin decided to stay away from the World Cup final, which was quite unprecedented. FIFA were briefing, actually, that was a pre-planned decision, but the message coming out of UEFA very much was that it was a protest by their president. Actually, I picked out a couple of screenshots, and he does talk about some of the refereeing decisions and says it's curious the same countries employing these practices are the ones criticising. He's talking about the decision to overturn Flo Balogun's red card, which for me was probably the most shameful moment of this World Cup. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite, Andy. You were there. Troy obviously lives out in the States. I had a wonderful 5.5 weeks. I thought it was a brilliant tournament. I thought the American
Would you give up the chance to play for your country to become a global star of your sport and earn big money doing it? Well, that's the choice facing rugby players right now because of the proposed new R360 League. Led by 2003 World Cup winner Mike Tindall, it's already being backed by major investors. Its goal? Turn rugby union into franchises, not clubs, add some serious cash and a bit of razzmatazz. Or in their words, make the game more watchable, accessible and entertaining, especially for younger audiences. But there's been a huge pushback, a massive no way from the current game. So what exactly is R360 and why is it controversial? Rugby union is facing challenges on a domestic level right now. There's huge financial instability across even top-tier clubs. The English game has seen leading clubs like Wasps, London Irish and Worcester go out of business in the top flight. The Welsh provincial game is in total disarray too. R360 says they would remove what are easily some clubs' biggest expenses, i.e. the big stars, and therefore make more of them profitable. So the plan is to inject a new lease of life into the sport. But how exactly? Top stars of the men and women's game playing for a franchise-based league with fixtures in cities like London, Miami, Tokyo and Lisbon. Each city would host a tournament featuring all the franchises during a short 3-month season. And though no players have officially confirmed, reports suggest around 200 have signed pre-contracts, some worth up to 750 grand. And if that's the pre-contract, you can imagine where the full wages will get to. Problem is, the rest of rugby says no. In fact, no way. The national unions from England, Scotland, Ireland, France, Italy, South Africa, New Zealand and Australia have declared any player joining R360 will be banned from test selection. World Rugby's also not approved the league. Many fear it echoes football's failed European Super League, a top-down, money-driven idea that could damage the sport's traditions. So is it dead already? Well, rugby union is at a crossroads. Some may be against it, but we know others are being swayed by the cash. So will everything work itself out? Or after the European Super League and Live Golf, have we got sport's next big scandal on our hands?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to The Breakfast Show. It's just coming up to 7:05. It's me, Andy Goldstein, alongside the superstar that is Andy Townsend. We're here with Arnold Clark. It's the perfect time to upgrade your car. Get 2 years free servicing when you buy a used car in the upgrade event. Check it out online. What a show. What a show we've got for you this morning. We've got a real treat for Nottingham Forest fans and football fans as well. We're going to cross live to Portugal, be joined by the new gaffer in town, Oliver Glasner, and their captain, Ryan Yates, as well. We'll also bring you the very latest on FIFA and Gianni Infantino. Absolutely getting hammered by everyone with his new World Cup plans. And that's not all. We're joined by Tottenham, Southampton, and Masked Singer, Belgium legend. I didn't know he was in the Masked Singer, Toby Alderweireld. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, actually. I didn't know. And what did he go as, Tony? Toby?
Just as an owl.
An owl?
Yeah.
Would you do that? Would you do that, Masked Singer?
No.
No, nor would I.
Would you?
No, I wouldn't know. Teddy went on it, didn't he?
Sheringham?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he'd do anything for a few quid, wouldn't he? I wouldn't do that. Would you? Would you do?
No,
would you do
I would
any?
not do it.
No, any
Team
celebrity?
China.
Any celebrity stuff? Can you sing, by the way?
No.
Not that that makes a difference on that show.
No, not particularly. I might think. Look, we all sing in a car, don't we? You sing in a car.
How do you know that? Are you in my car?
No, but you do.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
Yeah, I've got an I've got an awful voice.
And you don't even realise sometimes you're even doing it until the next car alongside you pulls up and you make yourself look an idiot. But no, everyone. I think everyone feels as well they can sing a little bit.
Well, I can't sing, but I've got a good.
Oh, yeah.
You know that nobody knows.
Yes.
I've got a good hoo-hoo.
Oh, right.
You got a good hoo-hoo?
No.
Go on, give me a hoo-hoo.
No, I can't do it.
No,
I can't.
Nobody knows. Go on, that one.
I really, Andy, wouldn't want to.
Just give me your best hoo-hoo.
That's not my bag.
And if we're going to carry on today's show, I need your hoo-hoo.
Hoo-hoo.
It's not bad.
Nobody knows. Right, that's it. Is that it?
You've got a good voice, you have, haven't you? Go on. Nobody knows it.
Good song, that. Good song.
Right from the start. Who's that? That was Kiki D and Elton John, wasn't it?
Elton. What a good song. Yeah.
Should we finish the show today with that?
Yeah, go on.
Let's finish it because it's a lovely, bright, sunny day.
Come on in.
And we can lose as many listeners as possible right at the end of the show. So should we finish with Don't Go Breaking My Heart?
Good song.
We'll do that. We'll build up to that, right? We'll learn the lines, get the lines in, and we'll build up to that, and we'll finish with Don't Go Breaking My Heart.
Did you know? Very quickly.
Yeah, go on.
Very quickly. The debate, which has gone on for many, many years, about whether it's the jam first or the cream first in a scone.
Well, is it scone or scone?
It's a scone for me. It's a scone.
Can I have a scone? Can I have a scone? Scone, yeah, okay, I'll go.
I tend to go scone. I mean, whether that's right, I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently, a nationwide poll, 71% say the first layer should always be...
either jam or cream. What, the base one?
Yeah. What's the first one that
I'm always putting cream first.
Jam.
Oh, fuck.
And that's known as the Cornish way, right? This research shows that people have got apparently very strong feelings about this particular subject. But the survey carried out by Costa.
Yeah.
Costa Coffee
We love Costa
has
Coffee.
now offered its own solution that could settle the argument, a half and half scone that sees both jam and cream piped on at the same time.
How's that work?
I don't know.
Well, one's got to be on top, right?
But, well, no, not if you split it in half and do one side, then just,
I see,
stick them together.
Yeah.
But I am jam first, then cream. Yeah.
So I'm the anomaly. I'm cream first. I just think it looks better with the
Looks
cream.
better. I think you're right. I think it looks a bit better.
When was the last time you had a jam sandwich? That's unbelievable,
jam
Cole.
sandwich.
I haven't had that since I was about 9. Jam. I might have that today for lunch.
It's great. It's a
Isn't
it's
it?
a belter, isn't it?
Isn't it? Jam sandwich.
It is.
Woohoo!
It is wonderful.
Woohoo! Right, let's focus on this East Midlands powerhouse.
Drinking in Nottingham Forest fans, unbelievable scenes at the City Ground. Wood, can he get a shot in on the turn? Oh, you bet he can! Chris Wood!
They're rocking all over the world and they are rocking their way up that Premier League table.
Headed home on the goal line by Igor Jesus. Brilliant header, and what a wonderful save from Matt Sale.
What a time to be a Forest fan.
And the captain, Morgan Gibbs-White, surely has put the gloss on a glory night in Europe for Nottingham Forest.
Oliver Glasner and his Forest side, they're out in Portugal preparing for the new season. And someone who's also out there, you wouldn't believe it, is the biggest Forest fan in the world. And talkSPORT said, do you fancy going to see Forest in Portugal? And Max Scott went, yes, please. And he joins us now. Hello, Max. Good morning to you.
Morning, Max.
Morning, boys. Good to see you. How you doing?
Look at that smile. You are a competition winner today, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I'm just waiting for the money. That's all, Goldstein. I'm waiting for the, 10 grand tax free. But yeah, bucket list stuff for me.
Wow.
Yeah, coming out here to sort of speak to club captain Ryan Yates, captain Morgan Gibbs-White, and Oliver Glasner on the show. It's unbelievable stuff. Good to get a sense of the standard he's setting for a new season ahead.
Yeah. Just tell us exactly where you are currently. People, will, of course, aren't necessarily watching, and we can see you in a hotel room. But you're close to the ground, or they're coming to you. Where are you?
Yeah, so I'm in Vila Moura, so I'm in golf country in Portugal. I'm looking out right now, I think.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
Oh, we've lost him there.
I think I've lost the Wi-Fi signal and I won't be able to. So he's soon to sit down, by the way. He's soon to sit down with Ryan Yates,
right,
captain. Now, I said competition winner. I mean that in the nicest way.
Yes.
He's a big Forest fan. He's excellent at what he does. Brilliant presenter.
He is.
But the fact that he's a big Forest fan and he's over there pre-season and he's going to sit down with the captain as well.
It's like one of those no-brainer trips. Someone throws at you, think they're winding you up.
Yeah.
You really want me to
That's
go?
going to be
watch him
great.
pre-season?
They've also asked him to train with Forest. He's going to do the bleep test.
Oh, the bleep test. You've done that?
No, well, I know what it is. I did it at school, but
yes.
I mean, I know it. I don't know. I mean, he's a young, fit lad, so he should be fine with it.
Talking about cheating, you could always cheat at the bleep test.
How do you cheat at the bleep test?
Well, like you're supposed to get. So basically, the bleep test, you run. I can't remember how many yards it is. Say it's 25 yards, right? 30 yards. It's probably more than that. About 30 odd yards. So you start, and then you've got to get to the other end, and this thing goes beep. Right, and you put your foot down on the line, turn and run back
to where you started
from, and you got to keep getting inside, just kind of getting there when the thing goes beep,
and then the beep's quick enough,
and then it speeds up, and then obviously you got to start getting faster and faster, etc.
How do you
of course, well, you're not when you're towards the end when you're not quite getting there, right? But you keep going. You keep going because if you haven't been spotted, you keep going.
I see, okay.
See what I mean? So, and I think a good bleep test was usually someone that was got up to about level, and it goes start of level 1, start of level 2, and gradually speeds up. Something like level 15 is very, very, very good.
I think Max got his back, so we can find out if he's done that yet and what level he got up to. Max, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that.
That's all right. It's fine. We were just talking about the fact that I don't know if you're going to be training with Forest or you have done already, but I know there's a bleep test involved.
Yeah, no, that's happening today. I'm not particularly looking forward to this. Last time I did it was GCSE PE. I'm 33 now. So I'm definitely going to be sort of lowering the standard of what we've seen from the Forest boys so far.
Listen, let's talk about you and more importantly, your club captain. You're going to sit down with Ryan Yates a bit later on and have a chat, right? Are you nervous?
Look, I've had the pleasure of meeting him before on a few occasions. He's a lovely fella, and I have said on air, and I'm pretty sure he knows that he is my favourite Forest player in my lifetime. I can't remember watching all the miracle men like John Robertson, etc. And so for me, Ryan Yates epitomises exactly what it is to be a Forest fan playing for your football club. He's an unbelievable leader, unbelievable captain. Every manager Forest have had, of course, there's been quite a few in recent years. I've always gone to him because of the standards he sets, and he's an absolutely lovely chap as well. So, yeah, it'd be good to speak to him for sure.
What's the vibe, Max, this year with Forest amongst all the fans? What's your gut telling you about what sort of season you're going to have?
Well, I think when you've got Oliver Glasner in the seat, which is an absolute coup, by the way, Vitor Pereira did an amazing job at the end of last season, but I think there was probably a feeling amongst some fans looking at his CV about whether he's a long-term appointment. And so whilst, that it came as a shock, it was a pleasant surprise that someone like Glasner, who of course has won everywhere he's gone and done incredible things, particularly at Palace, for him to be the manager, I think is a real sort of demonstration of the club's ambition. And so I don't think it's unrealistic for Forest fans to certainly hope for European qualification again, particularly when we've done it in the last couple of seasons.
Some big names, of course, at Forest, but one has left, Elliot Anderson. How much of a miss is that going to be for your season?
Yeah, I think Elliot Anderson is someone that for Forest right now is irreplaceable. And I imagine that the club are having to look at a couple of different signings to be able to fill in what he's capable of. I've got absolutely no doubt that next season, with a City shirt on, the whole world will realise what an incredible talent he is. Forest fans know or won't be surprised when he starts getting all the plaudits. But what an unbelievable player, and what an unbelievable young man as well, who went through a lot towards the back end of last season, tragically losing his mum, and he came out and played sort of for the pride of his family and continued to sort of set standards and be unbelievable on the pitch. So as a player, he goes to Man City with the love and adoration of the city of Nottingham without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his as well. Listen, we've got Oliver Glasner on our show, I think about 9 o'clock. Andy and I are going to be chatting to him. If I were to ask him how many more players he wants to come into the club before the window closes and what areas, what do you think he'll say?
Well, I don't know whether he's going to reveal transfer plans live on air, but I would think, reading reports, that he will say, the reports are going that he wants 4 more players. There's lots of links between Forest and Sporting Centre back Diamande. That deal seems to be close. As well, Liam Delap, who the club have been interested in the past. he seems to be available from Chelsea. You look at what Xabi Alonso's doing there, quite exciting, bringing new players. You know, I think he would be a player that the club admire and a player that sort of fits the mould of the striker that's worked at Forest when you look at how well Chris Wood has done. But the reports suggest that the club want 4 more players. And in his first press conference, boys, Oliver Glasner said that in Mr. Marinakis, he's met someone that maybe has more ambition than him. And so you would think that there's a little bit more business to be done in this window to be able to give Glasner the side that he feels he can go on and have success with.
Max, before I let you go, talk me through your timetable. You're obviously in your hotel room now. When are you leaving? Where are you going? How far's the journey?
So we're heading 10 minutes down the road, getting there about 8:15, making sure everything's set up for the interview with Oliver Glasner. That's at about 9 o'clock. Then from 8:15, Ryan Yates will come live into the show as well, so it'll be good to chat with him. I've got to sit down with Morgan Gibbs-White at 3 o'clock, and then around that going to be playing pool with Murillo, Igor Jesus, the Brazilian contingent that have been so successful for the club, doing some stuff with the ice bath, see how long I can do an interview with some of the players in an ice bath, and then put through my paces, of course, in the dreaded bleep test. So if I survive, I'll be back with you tomorrow morning.
What a day you've got.
Love it.
Well earned, well earned. Keep up the great work,
Enjoy,
Max. Enjoy your day. We'll speak to you in a bit.
Cheers, fellas. Have a good one.
Thanks, man.
Them ice baths, Andy, horrible. Hate the ice bath. I'm so grateful and so thankful that they were only just coming in as I was pretty much done.
I don't get them.
Well, they're basic. I'll tell you what. So what you don't realise, you must have played football, and there'll be loads of people listening that play football on a Saturday, wake up on Sunday morning, an ankle swollen.
Yeah, of course. I get that
knee
now.
sore, and you think, well, where's that come from? I don't remember doing anything to my ankle, whatever. So the ice baths are to prevent any of those very minor little tears you don't even know you've got or you've had any little injury. Jump in the ice bath, and that stops any internal bleeding on any little knock.
I just can't. It's like my wife, right? Will always say at the end of a shower, I turn it on to cold for like 2 minutes, right? And then she says, when I get out, I feel great. And I'm not surprised because you're out. When you're in, you don't, do you? It's because it's stopped. That's why you feel great.
Well, they've become really popular, haven't they? Ice bath people who have them at home, those tubs that you can dip. And I've never, ever been a fan of those.
Not for me. Coming up, we've been talking about the greatest amateur sports scandal in history, Cricketgate or Clickgate. No, Click It. Click It. That's what I've called it. Click It. I don't know what I'm talking about. You'll hear from a very, very angry Piers Morgan right after this. 18 minutes past 7.
Vinicius Jr. I'll read this from the Telegraph Sport, their sports pull-out this morning. Dom King writes, Arsenal prepared to offer Brazilian forward Vini Jr. the biggest contract in the club's history as they plot to outline their soaring ambition. He currently commands a weekly salary, 400,000 euros a week at Madrid, but Arsenal would look to improve that to maximise their chances of pulling off an audacious coup. It kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it, boys? On Saturday afternoon, he's got a year left on his deal at Real Madrid. Arsenal exploring the possibility, Troy, of signing Vinny Jr. Is it going to happen? And if it does happen, where does this rank in Premier League history in terms of biggest coups for the Premier League, not just Arsenal?
If it did happen, it would be amazing for the Premier League to have a superstar on that level in terms of global appeal, blah, 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 all that stuff. I don't like it.
Why?
I don't like it. I don't think it suits the way that Arsenal play. I don't think his personality suits Arteta.
What do you mean his personality?
I think he's a massive diva in regard to like what he wants, what he needs. And I don't think he would buy into the collective. And now that would be something new for Arteta to have to deal with, right? Because he's all about the group. So how do you have Saka on one side, who's the captain, has done everything right, and then you bring in this guy and go, oh, by the way, everyone, give him the ball. And you have to keep giving him the ball. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't think it...
Morning, everyone. It's 7:22. It's a breakfast show. It's me, Andy Goldstein. Fast driving Andy Townsend alongside me. He's just been explaining to me that he's currently got more points than Ipswich are going to get this year.
I'm back on 9, unfortunately.
Wow, what's a band? 12?
The band's 12, yeah. And I've actually.
Why you got 9? That's terrible, Anne.
I've already done it. I've already had a 6-month ban. That was some time ago. And I'm not a crazy, stupid driver who's doing 120s and all that stuff. Far from it. I get a 34 in a 30, and I get done a 55 in a 50.
Well, 56 you need to do.
Is it? Well, 56.
I think it's 10%. I think you can get away with it. Don't quote me on that, by the way.
It's very, very easy to, particularly look, you listen to the radio, or I got my music on, and because I like my rock music and my heavy metal, if I'm listening to that, honestly, it does make a difference to how fast you drive. I think it does. You don't really realise how fast you're going if you've got the radio or the music up a bit.
Why don't you listen to Max Rushton? I know that put you to sleep. Don't do that.
But it's so now I've really, really, really got
9 points.
I've got to be so careful now.
When's the first 3 drop off?
Not for another 18 months. So
you're getting banned.
Oh, well, thank you for that. But I look forward to that.
Have you been on the speed awareness courses?
Yeah, I've done them, and I wasn't due one.
It didn't work, did it?
No, but it does. But I find I'm getting done for I'm kind of feeling slightly. I
know what you mean.
It's all my fault, but I'm feeling slightly hard done by.
Well, if someone does a 70 and a 30, they're getting the same as you, and that's probably a ban. Actually, it double the speed limit's a ban. But you know what I mean, like a 59 and a 30.
And of course the one that we all fear is when you're going along a road, might be nothing on the road at all, and of course you got the mobile police speed unit, with a camera.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the ones I've got to be very careful of now. So my wife says to me, "Look, why don't you just slow down?"
It's good advice, and
what is the matter with you? And I say, I'm not driving fast. I'm not in a hurry to get anywhere. I'm never in a hurry. I don't have to be anywhere any time really, apart from match days when I'm commentating. But I just seem to lack a bit.
9 points.
When we're talking about concentration at school, see?
Yeah.
And I think
to your own little world.
Yeah, and I'm in my own world, and I think that's what's happening.
I wonder when
drifting over the speed limit.
When Ipswich will get to 9 points, I reckon you could have more than them by Christmas.
Thanks. No, I don't want to. And my wife's vowed not to pick me up anymore and take me because last time she would pick me up from the station, take me to the station. So she said, "Look, if you get done again, that's it. You're on your own. Get a cab there and get."
That's nice. She backs you like that.
Well, no, I think she's trying to make me slow down.
Say love is dead.
Yes.
Right, time now for a quick coffee break with our wonderful friends at Costa Express.
The Costa Coffee Break on talkSPORT, sponsored by Costa Express. Get a regular Costa Express iced coffee as part of your Tesco meal deal at participating Tesco stores. Terms and conditions apply.
Scandinavia is able to go into the lead here, and Trawlerman's challenge looks to have been done by the loose horse drama with 2 furlongs to go with Scandinavia, but Trawlerman is all hot. Rahieb is trying to run on. Trawlerman's race looks to be done. Unfortunately, the loose horse has caused all the problems here because the showdowns never happened, as Scandinavia has just been kept up to his task by Ryan Moore and is going away to win by 6, 7, 8 lengths.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday morning. Scandinavia followed up its Ascot triumph by beating rival Trawlerman again to win the the Goodwood Cup. Let's hear how it sounded on talkSPORT, or that was how it sounded on talkSPORT. Yesterday, our very own Rupert Bell had a rather unfortunate incident with Lizzie Kelly. Have a listen.
I think he'll be sharper today.
Who dropped the glass?
Me. Rupert, what on earth are you doing?
Well, I was moving your lunch because we were suddenly being invaded by a whole lot of flies.
And now look what you've done.
And now what I've done is I've broken some glass. Neil Phillips had brought us some lovely Bolney champagne. I was only trying to stop us being invaded because Lizzie had left half our lunch in a bag and the flies were attending.
No, don't blame it on me. There was one fly that you were upset about, and now look at the mess you've made.
By the way, there's nothing wrong with your radios. If that was all coming out of one speaker, that's just the way it was recorded. I'm delighted to say he joins us now to tell us more. talkSPORT's, there you go, he's already defending himself. Rupert Ding Dong Bell. Morning, Rupert, you all right?
Morning, Andy. I feel like I'm in another court, just like poor old Andy Townsend was a few moments ago with his speeding problems. Andy, just be a bit careful around the Cotswold roads.
I will.
And I know what you mean about those mobile vans.
Yes.
my wife gets so angry with them, she goes out and starts talking to them and saying, go and do a proper job. But anyway, that's another story. So I'm just trying to deflect from my incompetence. Yes, having had a lovely glass of this English sparkling wine, I then moved the glass, and unfortunately, on air on talkSPORT 2, I did have that accident. But never mind, we move on. They'll be up to something today. I'm sure I'll make another gaffe somewhere along the way.
And what was that like, Rube, that race, Scandinavia? I didn't see it, the Scandinavia Trawlerman. Was it great? And you mentioned about the loose horse there.
Yeah, well, early on in the race, Avalok's jockey was unseated. The horse went one way coming out of the stalls, and he went the other way. And then this horse just seemed to get in the way, particularly of Trawlerman, who was front running. And then in about 2.5 furlongs to go, Trawlerman had to pull up sharply as this horse went straight in front of Trawlerman. And then that left him with nowhere to go. And in the end, that took the sort of momentum from Trawlerman, who tried to lead from the front and then just allowed Scandinavia to go away. I think Scandinavia may still have won, but obviously it did have a major impact on the outcome of the race.
So, with all that in mind, what have we got in store today then, Rupert? What can the fans get excited about?
I'll tell you what, we had the show. That was such a good race at Royal Ascot that featured a Scandinavian Trawlerman. Now we've got a repeat of the St James's Palace Stakes with Bo Echo, this unbeaten 3-year-old miler who's been brilliant all season, out to defend that unbeaten run, taking on the older horses. Gustavo he was racing against at Ascot, but now he's got the older horses to take on, Opera Ballo and others. And I think this will be a real treat. This is the big race of the week in many ways. So Bo Echo, they're sort of almost trying to put him into the Frank, giving him the sort of connection with Frankel. I don't think we can go there yet, but if he stays unbeaten and he proves it against the older horses, then we've got a very special horse on our hands. And also what's good about it, it's new kids on the block who are training it and riding it. We've got Billy Loughnane, who Oisin Murphy, talking to us yesterday, and we'll hear that interview later on talkSPORT 2, described Billy Loughnane, this teenager, as the most professional sportsman he has ever seen. And he says he knows footballers, he knows other jockeys, and that's praise indeed. And we got George Bowie, the trainer, and they are basically, as I say, the new coming forces in the sport. So hopefully they will continue that ascent with Bo Echo in the Sussex Stakes.
We lost you at the end there. Bo what?
Bo Echo. Oh, you did it last time, Andy. I fell for it again. Oh, God, I'm so stupid.
Robert, it's good to see you. It's good to see that hotel room as well. It's looking good now. You're giving us more of a view.
Well, we're talking to Lizzie. I'm going to bring some more post-traumatic travelodge syndrome to with news that my producer had to leave his room because last night I may have had one fly that caused me to break a glass. I think on Tuesday, Dan, our loyal producer, ended up having to move room because he was attacked by wasps and insects. And dear Lizzie, she had a drainage problem in her room, but actually mine.
Did she now?
So it's not. She did, Andy. Yes. So all I can assure you, not all is serene, but my room is absolutely perfect to just defend the Travelodge to some extent.
Good. You haven't got a drainage problem, no? Even at your age?
I'm working on it. Anyway, Andy, yes, thank you very much. And that horse is Bo Echo, 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 just to remind you. Okay?
Loving your work, Root. Thanks, pal. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Here you go, talkSPORT's racing commentator. The legend is Rupert Bell with us there. Don't forget, of course, Rupert Bell and Lizzie Kelly. They'll have commentary of today's big races at 2:25, 3 o'clock, 3:35 and 4:10. And over on talkSPORT 2, there are extra races, extensive coverage during Racing Live with Emmett Kennedy and Matty Batchelor. That was all thanks to Costa Express. Now, coming up, still on today's show, what does Gianni Infantino's cunning plan mean for the future of football?
The Costa Coffee Break on talkSPORT, sponsored by Costa Express. Get a regular Costa Express iced coffee as part of your Tesco meal deal at participating Tesco stores. Terms and conditions apply.
do you make of that, Vinicius Junior? He doesn't like it.
I think there's a lot of assumption in it. I saw the clip, and let's be honest, it's a section of a clip, right? So me and him had a back and forth, and it was actually a good chat actually on WhatsApp. And I said, listen, mate, I'm going on talkSPORT and I'm talking about this. And he goes, well, think about it, Joel. Like, you know, Mikel has gotten rid of the likes of Aubameyang because of, you know, the attitude issues. Why should he go back to that once, you know, you've gone so far, you've won the league, you've done everything. Now you're going to bring in someone who could disturb the peace. And he's been so-so. That's what triggered me when he said he's been so-so for Madrid and Brazil. I said, hang on a minute, Troy. You're saying he's been so-and-so for Madrid, but if we look at the stats, in 2025-2026 season, he had 53 games, 22 goals, 9 assists. That's 9 assists. That's 31 goal contributions. And don't forget, the person who operates in his favoured position is the one and only Kylian Mbappe. Now, it's very obvious that him and Kylian are on each other's toes. So it's not that he's so-so.
Every spring, sports fans in Europe come together to celebrate arguably rugby's biggest annual tournament, the Six Nations. But why is it the home nations, plus France and Italy, and no one else? It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. A few years later, when they could field a team, Wales decided they'd host England and an idea was thought up. With Ireland keen, they formed the Home International Championship, which ran from 1883. In 1910, France was allowed to join, as they were developing into a serious rugby nation, and thus the Five Nations was born. France had an interesting history with the championship. They were actually booted out for paying their players in 1931, when the home nations were keen to keep it amateur. After World War II, though, France were let back in, but it remained a closed shop for more than 50 years. And when another country was let in, it was only really because the Five Nations hand had been forced. Italy was developing into a serious contender, beating Scotland, France and Ireland twice in the same year, meaning in 1999 officials got together and said yes to Italy, and it became the Six Nations. So what changes, if any, come next? 7 nations? 8? A promotion and relegation system? Or should we leave it alone and let it remain the great rugby tradition it's become?
Hopefully, they will continue that ascent with Bo Echo in the Sussex Stakes.
We lost you at the end there. Bo what?
Bo Echo. Oh, you did it last time, Andy. I fell for it again.
An oldie but a goodie. Morning, everyone. You're waking up to the breakfast show. It's 7:36. It's me, Andy Goldstein Andy Townsend, alongside and Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals. Score your dream car today. Check out their website for more details. Now, UEFA. This is a huge story on the back pages of every newspaper today. UEFA and the Prime Minister have launched a scathing attack on Gianni Infantino over FIFA's plans to bring third-party private investors into the World Cup, warning European bosses that football governance is not FIFA's to sell. talkSPORT's Charlie Pritchard has the full story.
First reported by Martin Ziegler from The Times, Gianni Infantino has outlined plans to expand football development funding to more than $10 billion. The plans would need to be approved by FIFA's Congress, where each of the 211 member nations gets a vote, and by the FIFA Council, which is the main decision-making body. While European federations might be unhappy about the plans, smaller nations are likely to be more supportive. The proposals would see each member given individual shares, and those would be worth several times the current annual revenue of smaller associations. UEFA might hold disproportionate sway on the FIFA Council, but that's still only 9 of the 37 seats, so they'd need to get broader support to oppose Infantino's plans, which may be tricky given more than 200 members have just endorsed the president to be re-elected for a final term.
Quite frightening, really. Let's bring in the man that broke that exclusive story. Let's say hello and good morning to the Times chief sports reporter, Martin Ziegler. Mike, good morning to you.
Morning, Martin.
Good morning to both Andys.
Thanks for coming. Firstly, round of applause. What a story you've broken. Congratulations on that. When did you first get wind of it?
I first got rid of it on Monday. It took probably 24 hours to sort of get it across the line because obviously there was kind of top secrecy around it. The FIFA didn't want people to know about it. I clearly knew it was going to be hugely sensitive, I think. So, but yes, bit of perseverance and I managed to get it there.
Yeah, well done to you. Now, in theory, it looks and sounds terrible, but what's the actual impact on the game? Will it just become so much more expensive if this goes through?
I think it's probably bigger than that because if you got private investors owning around about a third of the World Cup effectively, they what they want is return on their investment. So that means pushing for more money. So it could be anything. It could be tickets, but it could be more. A bigger World Cup means more money. So like 64 teams. Holding the World Cup more often means more money. So, we know before that Infantino's tried to get a biennial World Cup every 2 years. Would that pressure increase? Inevitably. All these things, is it going to be, they want it to be in the big market. So does that mean going back to the USA, much more regularly than it has been because that's where the biggest return is? I mean, that's what the pressure will be.
What I don't understand is how Infantino has even the capabilities of selling it. Surely when it comes to FIFA, he's just a tenant and he's got a job to do. And then when his tenure runs out, he moves on, someone else takes over. How on earth would he have this power to move it? Oh, I just don't understand how he would even be allowed to do that.
Well, he would say that it's, he's putting a proposal forward and it'll be the 211 member nations of FIFA who own that. But it is. A lot of people think that is right. He's supposed to be a steward of the game, not sort of taking these catastrophic or potentially catastrophic decisions. And how much money do you need? I mean, his thing is, we get more money, we can build more football pitches, but do you really want to sacrifice the greatest tournament in the world for that?
No, absolutely right. We hear that UEFA, of course, obviously are making a big stand against this. Excuse me, Martin. But from their point of view, how strong can we be in the European nations with regards to opposing this and preventing this from really getting up and running and gaining more momentum?
Well, I mean, UEFA obviously a very sort of powerful confederation within their own right. Now they are going to, looks like they're going to hold some sort of a virtual emergency meeting of their 55 member associations in the next few days. I imagine, I mean, I'm pretty sure one of the things they will discuss is can they threaten to boycott the World Cup? Is that realistic? I mean, a World Cup without the European nations is obviously not going to happen. I mean, it's meant to be in Europe the next time, isn't it? In 2030. Would they? We've got the Women's World Cup before then next year, so they could do it. But it's I'd say it's the nuclear option.
Martin, I don't know if you've got the answer to this. How does this not happen, and how does it go through? How does it happen? What are the two key areas here?
I think the sort of the storm that it's provoked would make it, I think, quite hard, I think, for Infantino to push this through. It's not just Europe. I think he'll have serious worries about this. I think the CONCACAF Federation of North America and Central America and the Caribbean are worried about it. Lots of other nations too. Interestingly, none of this has come from, this isn't Saudi Arabia or Qatar pushing this. So be interesting to see what their views are. Normally, they've been very supportive of Infantino. Obviously, Saudi Arabia have got the World Cup in 2034.
And does it, Martin? Sorry, does it come down to a vote then? Because you mentioned that FIFA's 211 members, the associates. I'm led to believe that if it does go through, they each get round about £15 million.
Yes, so that is the sort of big worry, is that each of the member countries would get around about £15 million as a stake in the new company, which they would be allowed to sell.
Wow.
Yeah, which they can move on. Yeah.
So effectively, they're being paid £15 million to vote yes, right?
That is exactly correct, and that is clearly the mechanism why they've been offered these little shares. Because if you're a small country in the South Pacific or something, and that's like 5 times your annual income, and it being delivered to you in one fell swoop, plus all the sort of regular annual development money you're going to get. I mean, it's I think, as I wrote, it's like Christmas voting for turkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if this doesn't happen, Martin, if this is outlawed by everybody across the board, and all of a sudden everyone starts going, no, this is a bad idea, which we all hope that will happen, where does that leave Infantino right now?
Well, I mean, some people have said that they think he's pushed it too far. He's going to have to back down.
Back down or resign or walk away?
Well, not resign, or back down, and he'll let things calm down, and he'll make another sort of money-making effort enterprise in a few years' time. So I still think that his power base is so strong that this won't affect him in terms of his future as FIFA president. But I think it would certainly leave his position damaged, and I think he would have to probably pull back on his ambitions of having the Club World Cup held more often, or even bigger, or even expanding the World Cup to 64 teams, which the South Americans are proposing.
Mike, because you broke this story, obviously every single back page has gone with this, and lots of them are showing pictures of Infantino holding the World Cup with President Trump. And then I'm led to believe that one proposed investor is Joshua Kushner, a younger brother of Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Is this a plan that was hatched during the World Cup then, do you think, or do you think it goes back even further?
It probably goes back further, but it is definitely, all part of this. We've seen Gianni Infantino become very close to Donald Trump and figures in the Trump administration, and there's definitely been talks with people close to that sort of Trump network. So obviously, there's Joshua Kushner. There's two other people involved in the planning who are both Trump donors. So it's very much a sort of American, East Coast American, connected to Trump somehow network.
Have you got one, Ed?
No.
I was just going to say, before I let you go, how do you think this will run out, Martin? What will happen, in your opinion? I know we won't hold you to this. I'm just curious, with everything you know, how will it play out?
I think it's like really finely balanced. I think it's going to be the mother of all battles. But I think he will have to back down, because I think it's a step too far. He's just flown a bit too close to the sun with this one.
Yeah. Martin, well done. Did you get like a bottle of champagne from the Times after breaking this one? It's a great story. Great story.
Well, there's careers are all waiting, hopefully, for those to be delivered.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a caseload on the way. Well done. A great story. Thanks, Martin.
Thanks, Martin. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, man. There you go. The Times chief, that's why he's the chief sports reporter, Martin Ziegler. It's a great story to break. It's an awful story, but a great one to break.
Yeah, the NFL commissioner is a chap called Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
Right, and Goodell. And he's apparently paid 48 million quid a year to sort of run the NFL.
Yeah.
And again, these are all these ideas that seemingly, potentially, Gianni Infantino has got in front of him, where he starts this subsidiary company, this FFE.
It's nuts.
And then potentially, when his tenure as the FIFA president runs out in 2031, he could
just
be one
carry
of
on.
those that could just
Yeah.
slide into this other organisation and make an awful lot of money.
Yeah.
And look, listen, money at the top end of any sport, particularly the biggest one on the planet, is going to be huge. It's going to be incredible. But on the face of it, and we don't know the full ins and outs of all this, but on the face of it, I think there are so many variables to where the game could go and how these competitions could look in the future that it's slightly scary, isn't it? That's
Very
what
scary,
it is. It's
very
scary,
scary,
really. So it can't happen. I sincerely hope it doesn't.
I agree. More on that, of course, when we get it. And if you missed any of it, you can go to the website, talksport.com. Right, still to come on our show.
Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Spend £100 or more in-store or online as a trade account holder and you could win a brand new Ford Ranger. T's and C's apply.
Great show. In about half an hour's time, former Spurs defender Toby Alderweireld will be joining us to give us his thoughts on Tottenham's summer business. And who can forget? I think we should stop playing in case he's listening. Who can forget when he made an appearance on this TV show? I mean, I missed that one. That was Toby on The Masked Singer in Belgium, dressed as an owl.
Good song, Mr. Brightside, isn't it? Do you like that?
Sometimes it is. Plus, Forest fans, we have an absolute treat for you. TalkSport's Max Scott is live in the Forest camp out in Portugal. He'll be speaking. Will be speaking to Ryan Yates and the new gaffer Oliver Glasner. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins. It's 7:48.
Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Want to win a brand new Ford Ranger? Just spend £100 or more using your Travis Perkins trade account to enter into the draw. T's and C's apply.
Your neutral hat on, right? Remove the fact that I'm Liverpool and you're Chelsea. Just to have one of the best players in the world come to the Premier League when we're so used to losing the best players in the world to La Liga is massive for the Premier League.
It'd be massive, absolutely massive for the Premier League. I totally agree with you. But I think it's you have to look at it through the lens of Arsenal. You have to look at what this means for Arsenal. They're behaving exactly as they should. When you are champions, you come with being champions of England comes with the power. It comes with the opportunity, and they're making the most of it. I think this probably, if this happens, Vinicius Junior landing at Arsenal are already Premier League champions. They were Champions League finalists. They were Champions League semi-finalists last year. You think about the momentum of Arsenal. If he lands at Arsenal and is the missing piece to them winning a European Cup, it immediately becomes money well spent. It probably goes down, what? Off the top of my head here, biggest signing in Premier League history?
Yeah.
When you think about what rivals it, I think you could argue maybe. Do you remember when?
Morning, everyone. It's 7:51. You are listening and watching the talkSPORT Breakfast Show. It's me, Andy Goldstein Andy Townsend. Just before the break, we had the Times chief football reporter, Martin Ziegler, on, who broke the story. It's on the back page of all the newspapers today. The Sun are going with, with the headline, bombshell plot sparks a civil war in football. This is FIFA's World Cup sell-off plan. It's basically going to generate billions upon billions of pounds for everyone, but it's going to make football a lot more expensive. And ultimately, Andy, what he was saying was quite worrying, in as much that if it does happen, we don't have our World Cup anymore. And it's a World Cup that shouldn't be owned by anyone, but they want to privately sell it off.
It is. It's a bizarre thought. And it's very strange because, like, the World Cup, it's part of the crown jewels. It's something that is sacred to so many across the world. And why would you want to tamper with that to this sort of level? Surely when they have these meetings, or when he's knocking these ideas around with, and there would be an inner sanctum there at FIFA that of course must be debating this and proposing this sort of stuff, at what point doesn't one of them say, you do realise when we try and announce this, when we try and go with this is going to cause World War III.
Yeah.
This is just not going to be accepted, and this is going to take some getting over the line, guys. I've got to tell you, and we're putting everything at risk here. Reputational damage for FIFA, etc., etc. And it just staggers me how that they would have thought that this would be well received.
The problem is that if you vote for Infantino, you're going to get £15 million as a
Just
nation.
because they vote for him, and surely, he's not that naive to think, well, I'm getting votes from these people, they'll follow me, they'll back me all the way.
What,
I know
£15 million they will?
Well, I know money talks, but even so, even some of those smaller nations, as much as they'd like that 15 million quid, and then the prospect of maybe being able to sell that again, that stake, would be lovely for them. But they must also know the damage potentially this does to the game, because no one then, once it's in the hand of financial institutions, corporations, etc., no one knows where the game's going to go. No one knows what sort of World Cup we're going to see in the future, where it's going to be held. Are these people then going to dictate the times we're watching the game, where it's played? Do we really want a World Cup that takes place all over the world in 20 years' time? No, we don't.
It was a fascinating chat. If you missed any of our chat with Martin Ziegler, you'll get a chance in about 45 minutes. We'll play some of it back. All of it, of course, will be on the website, talksport.com. In fact, I'll tell you what we do. We've got, in about half an hour's time, we've got the Tranmere Rovers gaffer or owner, Mark Palios, will be on our show. We'll get his views on that. That would be interesting. Back to football in just a moment, but it's day 4 of the Commonwealth Games. Absolutely drenched in rain yesterday, no surprise, but that didn't stop England's Amy Hunt securing a silver medal in the 100 metres. Philippe Nawaki also became the most decorated Jersey athlete. How about that in Commonwealth Games history after winning gold in the 200 metres breaststroke? Joining us now to round up all of the action and to tell me whether or not I pronounced those names correctly is England netball head coach and TNT sports pundit, the brilliant Jess Thurby joins us. Good morning, Jess. How are you?
Good morning, and I'm dry, which is brilliant when you saw the scenes last night.
Yeah, it was a downpour to say the least, but it's nice to see the sun. I mean, down south, the sun's a little bit bonkers today. It's going to reach about 33, 34, but up there, it's stopped raining.
Stop bragging, stop bragging.
Sorry. Firstly, how are you enjoying the Commonwealth Games? Because everyone I'm talking to it wasn't obviously meant to be there originally. It was only, 18 months ago we found out it was going to be moved up north. But everyone I've spoken to says it's just above and beyond what they expected. They're loving it.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that Glasgow didn't have very long to prepare to host this massive competition that, we all have known and loved. I think we've all got Commonwealth Games memories, haven't we, over the years? So they've done a fantastic job. It's been absolutely brilliant. Every day there's kind of like a different energy that comes. I feel like there's like a crescendo, but because so many sports kind of come, go, and something else starts off like the athletics in recent days, it just kind of re-energizes everybody. It's brilliant. The buzz is great up here.
Yeah. What were the standout moments yesterday, Jess?
I think the bowls, I can't get my head around it. We had guests in the studio here that had won gold yesterday for Scotland. It was amazing. The visually impaired bowls was, so inspirational. But I also think the gymnastics, poor Max and Niall that are here as part of the team, I've been peppering them with questions. I absolutely love it. And, yesterday we had a British 1, 2 and 3 on the women's floor, which was just amazing with Ruby Evans. I don't know if you saw it, but she'll be known now. It's iconic yellow leotard and nailing the gold at the same time. Yeah, so I've been a big fan of the gymnastics.
Can we expect any medals for England today, Jess?
Yeah, look, there's plenty of medal opportunities again today, you know, with the athletics kicking off as well. You know, yesterday we saw the 100 metres, didn't we, in the downpour of the rain, but it didn't stop some incredibly fast times. So I'm being told that track is very quick. So I'm sure the athletes are going to look forward to more action today. And obviously the heptathlon kicked off yesterday, so more events in that to look forward to.
Andy, look, when you said the track is quick, Andy looked at me as if to go, how is the track? Now, yesterday,
correct,
we were talking about how the water in the pool, bizarrely, can make you either faster or slower. It's all to do with the depth of the pool. How is a track fast or slow?
Oh, you're trying to push me into science now, but my take on what I've been listening to is it's to do with the fact the track has been laid recently. It's also to do with the weather and the conditions, but also the Scotsman, the wind helps incredibly.
Okay.
So from one heat to the next, we were seeing just such a huge range in times, but ultimately it culminated in a fantastic 100 metres, men's and women, by the way, with Cameroon taking the men's and New Zealand in the ladies. So it lent itself to a brilliant event, and a 28-year-old record, games record smashed in the 100 metres men's. So yeah, it is quick. Maybe we should all have a go. Set a PB.
Well, I don't know about that, actually. I think we're safer down here. And before I let you go, just a quick word about the crowds. How have they been?
Yeah, the crowds are amazing. I mean, I've dipped into maybe one or two venues because I'm obviously pretty studio based, but the hydro for netball that you can see behind us, it's like a bowl. And the way I describe it, it's like you're getting given a massive hug. You know, like it's such a great atmosphere because it's close to the action. It's perfect for netball. So we're being spoiled in there. And we've got all the big hitters out today. Jamaica, England are back in action, New Zealand and Australia against some of our home nations. So it'll be electric in there today.
You've been fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today, Jess. Enjoy the rest of the day's action. We'll speak to you in a bit.
Thank you. Keep watching, guys.
Thanks, Jess. Good advice. You can watch every event at the Glasgow Commonwealth Games exclusively live on TNT Sports and all HBO Max plans in the UK and Ireland. Back to football. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Spurs and Belgian legend Toby Alderweireld will be live on The Breakfast Show right after this.
Toby how do you spell it? How do you say it? It's Alderweireld. Toby. You know what I mean? Toby. Toby.
It's boxing. I said it in the interview the other day. It's heavyweight boxing. He got caught by a fighter who's had 20 knockouts. Yes, albeit Prenga wasn't a hugely recognised name prior to that, but you don't get 20 knockouts, you know, without being able to punch. And that's boxing. And the reality is, as AJ showed, it's getting back up from that and building your way back into the fight and finishing it the way he did. Did I expect that in the first round? No. But he showed his heart, his determination, and everything that's got him to this point in the sport.
Are you into boxing conspiracies?
No, I mean, is Simon Jordan under the desk somewhere?
He's on holiday this week, mate. But I've got his tweet here.
Well, yeah, you've got Simon Jordan. You got the other guy.
Oh yeah, but Paulie Malignaggi was on a little earlier on as well.
Exactly.
He said a very similar thing. So basically, Simon wrote on X, I'm sure people have seen this, that he wasn't having the fight and that something was not quite right, as it was designed to rinse the maximum amount of money. Do you agree?
I mean, did he confirm any more? Has he spoken about it verbally?
I've not.
What football ground are you thinking of when someone says this?
Really tough place to go. Difficult place to go. Such a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go at the moment.
It was a really difficult place to go, always.
But what are the toughest places to go, really? We've scoured the planet to find out. Forget a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Try playing in a blizzard 220 miles inside the Arctic Circle at the world's northernmost professional club. When Chelsea lost at Tromsø in Norway in the 97-98 Cup Winners' Cup, a massive snowstorm hit at half-time. These two boys and their brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day on a windswept cliff in the Faroe Islands. In Euro 2000 qualifying, Craig Brown's men were taken to fishing village Toftir. Kevin Gallagher called the pitch a cow field and the wind like Pitodry on a bad day. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time, leading to these absolute scenes, and still one of Scotland's most embarrassing results.
Daft little ground, silly game.
But away trips don't come any tougher than a lung-busting schlep up the Andes to face Bolivia in La Paz. But now the Bolivians have taken home advantage to another level. The country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Grass doesn't even grow up here. Bolivia have not lost here yet. The longest unbeaten run in any professional league ever belongs to Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda if you must. They've gone 7 years without defeat at the Rajko Mitic in Serbia's Superliga. Their fans are pretty intimidating as well, but they're not as loud as this mob. Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Stadium's officially the loudest in world football. In a derby with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans set a Guinness World Record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead, and pretty tough to carry out your manager's instructions when you can't even hear them. However, our most intimidating away day is in Wales, where cameras can't enter and players can't leave. HMP Prescoed. This prison team was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
Early June 1939, Germany, always a tough place to go to.
Oh, a bit of Billy Idol. 8:05 in the morning, breakfast show. Me, Andy Goldstein, Andy Townsend alongside. We're here with Arnold Clark. It's the perfect time to upgrade your car. Get 2 years free servicing. When you buy a used car in the upgrade event, check it out online. Now, usually we have a little ad-lib at the top of an hour. I just want to get to our guest.
Let's get to
I'm
yes,
very
come on.
excited. I'm
Yes.
delighted to say joining us now is a man who lifted titles in the Netherlands, Spain, of course, scored a title-winning goal for Antwerp in 2023. He's also a two-time Champions League finalist and was capped a whopping 127 times by Belgium. And more importantly, after retiring, he proved he can also hold a tune. As he went on the Masked Singer, dressed, as you do, as an owl.
And Belgium take the lead. The goal scorer, Tottenham's Toby Alderweireld.
It's Tottenham 2, Manchester City 1. Toby Alderweireld with the header at the near post.
For me, Toby and Vertonghen go in my top 5 Premier League partnerships.
Tottenham 1, Arsenal 1. Toby Alderweireld with his 3rd strike of the season in all competitions.
He's a natural quality that he has for many, many years.
I remember Toby in every club that he was playing.
The big defender, Alderweireld.
Toby.
So excited. When we came in today and we knew our next guest was on, both me and Andy were very excited. What a treat to welcome Spurs, Southampton, Belgium, and of course, Mars Singer legend, Toby Alderweireld, to the Breakfast Show. Toby, good morning to you.
Morning, Toby.
Good morning.
How are you laughing at the fact that I mentioned you were the owl or Alan Brazil's pronunciation of your surname?
Both. No, I'm very excited to be here. Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
How lovely to have you on our show. First things first, what are you up to at the moment, if you don't mind me asking?
No, I'm doing a lot. When I retired, I'm on TV shows. I'm doing some pundit work. I have my own liquor company, and 2 weeks ago I bought a share of my own club, my old club, Antwerp. So busy times.
Okay,
Fantastic.
so just go back to the liquor company. What kind of liquor is it?
All sorts of course, now we have the non-alcoholic as well, because that is booming. We have some gin, amaretto, limoncello, so it's going very well in Belgium, and we went abroad as well to Holland, so we try to expand, but everything needs time, of course, but we're doing our best.
Was business, Toby, something you wanted to get into when you finished playing?
Not really, because I never had in my head, I want to have a liquor company or something like this. But some guys who made it, friends of mine, they're very good at it. So they thought, maybe Toby, you can help a little bit. The quality was that good, and if I do something, I want to do it 100%. So that's why I joined them and be a part of this wonderful story.
Let me just check with the post. Has any arrived for us yet? There's none out there yet. Okay, I'm sure that would change. Right, Toby, listen, we're honoured to have you on the show. We've got so much to talk to you about. I suppose we should start by talking about your former club, Tottenham. What have you made of Spurs over the last couple of years? Of course, they've been fighting relegation, which is nothing like what was happening when you were at the club. You were getting to Champions League finals and knocking on the door of Premier League titles. What have you made of their form over the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, of course, not easy. The only positive thing is the trophy, of course. That's good, finally. On the other hand, you see that the team is struggling, and they don't have the same standards anymore than we had. I think when I arrived, almost every season we got in top 4. We like you said, we challenged for the title. Unfortunately, we didn't win it, but I think there was difficult times as well, because we White Hart Lane, we went to Wembley, then we went to the new stadium, but still we did well. And now you see that it hurts a little bit in the last 2 years, but I see some difference now. The transfers that they did, it's all positive. I think it's Premier League proven players, because that's something you need, because of course you cannot have a season like last season.
Just go back to the beginning of your answer there. You said they don't have the same standards that you had when you were there. What do you mean by that?
I mean, my feeling is that of course I'm not every day in that group, and it's easy to say this where I am, but my feeling is, in my time, everyone was so proud to play for the badge. We worked so hard. We did everything for the club, and sometimes that's something I miss. You see you hear some things, you read some things about the captain, and he's not there, and then you get a red card, and you don't feel like they are really involved. But again, it's easy to see it from the outside. But that's what in my period was totally different.
Do you think Roberto De Zerbi can get to those levels, Toby, that Maurizio Pochettino did? Do you think he can set those standards?
Yeah, you saw from the beginning straight away. He had a good connection with the fans. He changed the mentality, and now with some transfers and the way he wants to play, it's positive football. I think he's the right manager at the right time for Spurs. So yeah, I really think he can go back to, like I said, the standards from a couple of years ago.
Toby, when you were talking about your captain is there, then he's not there, I'm guessing you're referring to Christian Romero. Have a listen to what Dean Saunders said on The Breakfast Show on Friday about him.
Romero is up there with one of the worst captains in the history of the Premier League. Spurs have finished 17th 2 years running. He was the captain, so he can't be that good, can he? And he's an absolute liability on the pitch. He's a walking red card, and his behaviour in the World Cup after the whistle went sums him up.
What are your thoughts on that, Toby?
First of all, I think he's an unbelievable player. On his day, you see it with Spurs, Argentina. He's so good. The other thing is, for me, I'm not going to say how I see a centre back. You have to have a standard from 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, you know. And sometimes he's 10 out of 10, and sometimes, with a red card or with some sort of action, you think, that's not what the team needed now. For me, the centre back pairing is so important in the team. If you compare, Romero with Jan and myself, I think that's a big difference. You know, we were like, how you say this? You can count on us, and that's for me the most important thing. And like I said, Romero, an unbelievable player, but sometimes he wasn't there.
No, very true. And Toby, the back four that you played in at Spurs, yourself and Jan Vertonghen, Danny Rose, Kyle Walker, these sort of players, when you had that, and you must have felt that you're giving the team every chance with a defence like that, and how solid and how terrific you were as a four, it always gives the team a chance to go and win games.
Yeah, for sure. But I think we were scary. If like the names you said, but then in front of us we had Moussa Dembele, Victor Wanyama, Eric Dyer.
Yeah,
that was a proper team. You know, we were physically so strong. Pochettino made us very, very fit, and all the guys had a good mentality. They worked hard. They didn't complain. We did everything the manager asked us to do, and that's what you saw from second one. We were pressing, we were fighting, we were physically strong, and of course we had the quality as well. Think about Jan Vertonghen, Moussa Dembele, Christian Eriksen. Those are very, very good players.
Toby, that team was certainly one of the best Tottenham teams for a long, long time. You, of course, had Harry Kane in it as well. I think Dele Alli was part of it. I mean, it was a brilliant, brilliant team. What do you think that season, and in and around those seasons, you knocked on the door of the Champions League, the year Leicester won the Premier League, you could have won it. What do you think you lacked? What was the missing link between you getting over the line and not? Was it a lack of investment in the squad, do you think?
It was not an easy period because when I arrived, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago that they arrived to the Champions League. So I think sometimes it needed time, and I think we were getting there. Before Spurs was happy. We are top 4, happy. But Pochettino changed everything. They said, look, we're not only competing to get in the top 4, we're competing for winning the title. Of course, we were not ready yet, but you saw us taking steps. And of course, it was not easy as well to go to Wembley. It was not our home, to change stadium. But still, we did well. And sometimes you need a little bit of luck. But I think that the season that Chelsea won the league, I think we had the most points ever as a Spurs team. So sometimes you need a little bit of luck as well, and we didn't. But I think we set a new standard for Spurs. And of course, everyone's talking, he didn't win a trophy. But if you see how we played games, that we compete for top 4 and the title, I think that was a big change for Spurs.
Toby, there was a tag attached to Tottenham at the time, I'm sure you're aware of it, called Spursy, which of course has since disappeared because Spurs won the Europa League 2 seasons ago. Were you aware of it as a player? Were the players in the dressing room aware of the Spursy tag, and did it affect you at all?
Of course, we read stuff as well, we hear stuff as well, and it only gave us more fuel to fight and to perform. But know that the Premier League is very tough. That's an easy thing to say. And again, we were very unfortunate to not win something, for sure.
Okay. Just a quick word about this Tottenham side, then we'll move on to international football, if that's okay. How do you think, it's a big season ahead for Tottenham, and they've really strengthened well. I can't see in a million years that they'll have another season as poor as they've had for the last 2. What do you think realistically the expectation should be for Tottenham this season?
Yeah, of course, as an ex-player and a fan, I want them to go for European football, and I think you need to go for it. You know, if you're realistic, if you just mid-table will be fine and we go from there, I think you need to set the level so high, so high. Go for maximum that's in your potential, and use last season, use all the comments, all the laughing, use it to perform and to work so hard every day, and maybe it can change quick. It's a new season, everyone starts with 0 points, and let's hope they go for European football or more.
Yeah. Let's move on to Belgium, the national team, Toby, because you were part of a squad that there was many expectations on you. Lots of people felt that you had a wonderful squad and that you could potentially go and win some of these major competitions. They come up a bit short in the quarterfinals again in the summer. Why is it that Belgium, with so many good players, just can't seem to maybe get over the line?
Yeah, I think if you refer to the World Cup 2018, we were the unbelievable squad. We lost the semi-final against France. We had some unbelievable games, and now I think before this World Cup, if you asked every Belgian player or fan, or they will sign for the quarterfinal. But yeah, I think there's still potential, and against Spain we lacked a little bit of quality, I think, to go through. And yeah, of course we knew they won it. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to perform at the World Cup. And I think we are in a little bit of a changement. The golden generation, they say, is going, and there's a new generation coming. And I think quarterfinal is not bad.
I agree.
Just a quick one, Toby, from me on one of your former teammates, Harry Kane. How good a striker is he? We've got the Ballon d'Or coming up soon. Do you think he should win it?
For me, yes. I'm going to tell you why. Because before, it's always people who are very quick, good dribbles and stuff like this. And of course, the Messis and the Ronaldos. But Harry is so good. Of course, he's a goal scorer. But on the other hand, he's a real team player. He makes the team play better. Everyone's talking about that he's dropping more into midfield. But his positioning is so good when you are under pressure and you want to get some breathing time. You put the ball to him. He uses his body so good. So yeah, he's a very good striker. I think one of the best in the world, and he's very complete.
What did you make, just finally, Toby? What did you make of England in the World Cup, and of course in that game against Argentina, 1-0 up, only 20 minutes left, and the changes that were made by Thomas Tuchel? What was your thoughts on all of that?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit strange because, of course, I understand sometimes if you 1-0 up, you want to get more in defense and make it more hard to go through. But on the other hand, you need to have a different. If you have the ball, you need to hurt them because you're gonna take more risks. They're gonna put more bodies in front of the ball, and then if you defend well and put some quick people in front to hurt them, then it's very difficult. Because I speak as a defender. If everyone's close to the box, it's easy to defend. But go with 50, 60 yards behind you with for example, Rashford or someone like this. Put even a long ball, and something's going to happen. But now, for me, they only had thinking defend, and that was, I think, the mistake they made.
Were you surprised he made that mistake? Because obviously we had Gareth Southgate beforehand, and those were the mistakes a lot of people were suggesting cost him his job. And then we've got Thomas Tuchel, who's a born winner. He's won, of course, the Champions League. And that was why we brought him in, to win the semi-final and the final. And then it looks like he makes similar mistakes to that of Southgate. Were you surprised he made these mistakes?
Yeah, I was surprised. But because, he's a manager who's always thinking about positive football. And again, I understand that you put more safety in it, but you need to have a second plan. If you have the ball, you have to do something. But now to just kick it, no one was there, only Harry. But yeah, he was on an island, and then you get the pressure, more pressure. So yeah, I thought he would have done better.
Toby, I've got to ask you, I always ask players when they've recently retired, who was the best you played with in your career? If you had to single one player out, who would be the best that you played with? And you played with a lot of very good players.
Yeah. It's a name that everyone is saying, and everyone is always a little bit surprised. But the best player that I ever played with was Moussa Dembélé.
Oh, right. Wow.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
So underrated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was so good. He was strong. If he had the ball, you couldn't take the ball out of him. The only small thing he lacked was maybe shooting to the goal. But the other parts, defensively, everything, and how good the guy is, he's my top number one.
It's so interesting you say that, right? Because I think he's one of the greats, right? I think Tottenham fans now realise he's one of the greats. At the time, did you realise he was that good?
Yeah, for sure. Because I need to train every day with him. No. Yeah,
You
sure.
could give him
so good,
could give him the ball under pressure, Toby, couldn't you? You could pass it to him anywhere.
That's it. When and I always say the same example. When you play a big away games and there is pressure on you, for example, Chelsea away, City away, he's the guy in midfield who asks the ball and you can play to him.
Yeah.
Because some players they play hide and seek. They ask the ball, but not really asking the ball. But he's the guy who asks the ball and say, "Give it to me, and I will do something, and I will help." And yeah, that's as a defender, it's because especially when clubs put pressure on you, you know, oh, this is the guy I can play the ball to, and he will hold it for me.
Yeah.
Toby, I could speak to you for the next 2 hours. What an absolute pleasure and an honour. Thank you so much for your time. Are you ever in London? Are you ever coming over? Because we'll be honoured to have you in the studio at talkSPORT.
Yeah. I get some questions now to go to London more and more. Last week I was in London for something with Spurs. So if you want me, I'll take the Eurostar. It's lovely traveling with Eurostar.
We will do that.
I'd love to come.
We will do. Yes. I talk on behalf of management. We will pay for that Eurostar. Look at the faces in it. We will pay for that ticket. So listen, a lot of my fans, my mates are Spurs fans, and they all ask me to pass on that they're huge fans of yours and what you did for their club. They all adore you and love you. You're a proper Spurs superstar. So. On behalf of all of them, well done for your brilliant career in England. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Toby.
And my last question, so if you had the choice between Spurs winning the league or going on the Masked Singer again, what would it be?
Spurs winning the league.
Okay, it's close though, right? It's close.
Sure.
Maybe not. Toby, have a lovely day. Thanks for your time, pal.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. How great was he?
Very
brilliant.
Good.
That was brilliant. I love that.
Lovely.
Toby Alderweireld there, Premier League legend. Now, of course, got his own liquor company. A reminder, of course, to make sure you grab a pint of So Good Lager from talkSPORT. And meantime, on this beautiful summer's day, it's available in all O'Neill's pubs and some of the best sports bars across the country. Find out where you can get your nearest pub at talksport.com/so good. 18 plus. Always drink responsibly. Remember, the huge names don't stop there at Toby. We are joined at 9 a.m. by Nottingham Forest manager Oliver Glasner and the club captain Ryan Yates. What a breakfast show you're listening to. It's 8:23.
What do you make of the noise over the last 24 hours that Jordan Henderson and Danny Welbeck are being heavily linked as to be players for Chelsea this season?
I can see the reason and why. I can see why, Alonso done it when he was at Leverkusen. He brought Xhaka in. He had a few, older heads to play with, a lot of the youngsters, what he had in and around the squad to help him, because that's what they do. The older players help the coach, the manager, because they can see it. They've been there, they've done it. And I can see why, Danny obviously had a great season last season, very unlucky not to get the call up to the England squad. Jordan, obviously, a freak accident at the World Cup. Yeah. And probably because I think, when you look at Jordan, everyone sort of forgets that he was Liverpool captain, won the title with Liverpool, played all them games for Liverpool, and you don't do that and play at a top level club like that if you're not a top level player. So again, you can see he's got he buys into an environment, he buys into what you want, and as a manager, you can't nothing. You've got nothing but love for that, because you need your players to buy in, and if he's buying into it and they see it, young players go with.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. Celebrating 100 years of rewarding the fans. We're here for glorious Goodwood. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
Back a bit early there on the buttons, aren't we, eh? Hey, on the visuals. What's that about? Welcome back to the talkSPORT Breakfast Show. It's me, Andy Goldstein. Someone that visually looks wonderful is Andy Townsend. Dave Stevens is with us from Coral. Dave, good morning to you.
Gentlemen, a very, very good morning.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Dave, you're looking well.
Look at you. You've got a hat. People can't see. You've got a hat on. You look fantastic.
You look like Hannibal Lecter a little bit.
Brilliant.
Just a tad there, I felt.
That wasn't the look I was going for, Andy.
Just at the end. At the end of the film, you know that little bit at the end when he goes into the phone box?
You know, when he's got the mask on?
Yeah. No, and he's got that hat on.
Well, during Royal Ascot, obviously, I wore my top hat in honour of Darren Bent, obviously, being on the show. It's Glorious Goodwood this week, obviously, so I'm sporting the Goodwood Panama in honour of you, Andy. But as I say, Hannibal Lecter wasn't the look I was going for. And just very quickly, before we go on to today's racing, I've got to go back to anyone that was listening at 7:30, when Rupert Bowe let the nation know that Lizzie Kelly has a drainage problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Lizzie thanks Rupert for that.
I did pick him up on that because I know people were eating their breakfast around about 7:30. It wasn't the nicest sentence to ever come out of his mouth, was it?
An old glass smasher Bell yesterday, I have to say. The talkSPORT commentary position is very close to the Coral box. He was in and out of the Coral box. I think he might have been drinking some of Toby Alderweireld's products. That's all I'm going to say. An old ding dong bell. But
yeah, there's a reason why you smash a champagne glass, right? Because you've drunk out about 10 others.
Yeah, and it was not dignified from Ding Dong, but hopefully he'll pull himself together today. Just on the big race yesterday, Scandinavia ended up beating Trawlerman comfortably. The loose horse did play a bit of a role, but Scandinavia by far the best horse. We are refunding all bets on Amilock, who unshipped his jockey Hector Crouch in the first few yards in that Goodwood Cup. But today, it's all, and I can't believe you got Rupert again on Bo Echo. I mean,
on what? Oh, come on, Dave. Come on. You're better than that, surely.
I've absolutely dropped myself in it there.
Oh, my goodness, Dave.
Rupert is going to be so happy now. But this is a brilliant race in store, the Qatar Sussex Stakes. It is the feature race of the whole meeting. And Bo Echo, unbeaten. I'm going to use the F word. He's been compared to Frankel, who was an absolute star of the game. Here, he's a red-hot favourite, Bo Echo, to win this. But Gustard, Fraden O'Brien and Ryan Moore, 11-4 second favourite. Opera Ballo, 4-1. Lake Forest, who actually won yesterday, turns out just 24 hours later, he's 16-1. So it's a brilliant racing prospect. And a couple of others to look out for today. Flora of Bermuda in the 3 o'clock. And Adonius, who's unbeaten in the Molecombe Stakes later on. So another brilliant day. And I'm not going to mention Bo Echo anymore.
No, do you know, Dave, I saw a picture of Crookie, our Alex Crook, and he was holding a few quid in his hand. He had a good few winners yesterday. Did you?
You told me how much you won. I don't know if I can say it on air.
No, you better not say that.
9 grand you won.
You are kidding.
9 grand you won yesterday.
You are kidding, mate.
I'll show you the text.
What?
9 grand.
And I was going to say, Dave, did you guys get a bit of a pasting yesterday or not really?
Well, no, but we did. By Crookie was with us. He was one of our guests. And look, I'll be honest with you, he did say, look, don't say anything because Mrs. Crook, I'm not going to tell her how much I've won. But that's it. We've said it now. So Mrs. Crook.
9 grand, yeah.
Alex is fully loaded. So if he doesn't treat you this weekend, then.
And it's a nap.
6 out of 8.
It's a nap. Crookie's gone home and said, I want a couple of grand.
Yeah. No, a couple of £100, he would have said.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, I'm going to tell her I've won a couple of hundred. Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
9 grand. I don't think I know anyone that's won 9 grand before. Just while I've got you, a bit of football chat, Premier League title, top 4, where are we at with that?
I just wanted, obviously, you've been speaking to Toby Alderweireld about Spurs. I mean, the big movers in the betting, Andy, probably no surprise, Chelsea. Single figure odds now, 8-1 to win the title. Arsenal on the drift, out to 7-4. Man City 11-4, Andy G, Man United 6-1. And just a bit of news on Liverpool, who are obviously prominent in the betting, but is Bradley Barcola on his way to Anfield?
Yeah.
He's inspired to do so. And if so, both Andys, how good a signing could that be for Liverpool?
It could be the difference.
Could be.
We said that last season, didn't we?
Good. Yeah.
Hannibal Lecter, Dave Stevens, thanks for coming on. Always a pleasure. You look wonderful. Thanks, pal.
Thanks,
Cheers,
Dave.
fellas.
Take care, mate.
There you go, the wonderful Dave Stevens with us from Coral. Right, coming up, you'll hear a bit of our chat with Martin Ziegler, the man who broke the news about Gianni Infantino's plan to sell stakes in the World Cup. If you've not heard that, it's bonkers. The full interview is on our website, talksport.com. It's 8:31. It's the breakfast show. It's the two Andys.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with the Coral Rewards Shaker. With 100k of free bets available online this Tuesday and Friday. We're here for glorious Goodwood. 18 plus, max 1 reward per day. Reward restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Morning, chaps. How are you?
We're good, man. How you doing today?
Morning,
You all right?
Jeff.
You well?
I'm all right. I'm right. Goldstein, are you on a wind-up with this Kane to Chelsea thing?
Well, no. I asked I never said it. I asked the question.
Yeah, you done it on purpose, so I'd ring up, didn't
Oh, no,
you?
Sol Campbell went to Arsenal, didn't he?
No, I knew you was
Tevez,
going to come
Tevez
up
went to
with
Man
that.
City. It happens. Definitely happens.
Listen. Kane is proper Tottenham. Don't you know that? Don't you know that?
I know he's proper top. I know that. I don't think he
Well,
would
if
do
you
that.
know- Of course he wouldn't. So why are you talking about
Right,
it and winding me up
Jeff,
for?
let me ask you this.
All night.
Jeff.
I've been working all night on a night shift, right? I'm going home,
Yeah.
right? I was all chilled out and relaxed, looking forward to going home.
Now you're all bitter and twisted.
Sorry, Jeff. Sorry.
And now, I switched, right? And now you're winding me up with this. I'll tell you what, if Kane goes to Chelsea, I'll do anything you say. Anything you want.
Well, that sounds weird.
Anything.
I mean, I would.
No.
There's nothing I would say.
Anything you want. No, if you want me to put an Arsenal shirt on the one down Tottenham High Road, I'll do it, right? I'm proper Tottenham.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media, and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earned 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
Good morning, a hot good morning to you. It's 8:36 breakfast show. It's me, Andy Goldstein Andy Townsend. We can only see the weather, we can't feel it, but it looks hot out. It's going to be
Does
hot.
look hot. It looks
it's going to be
nice.
touching 90 today.
I'll go get the train. The train will be red hot.
Overhead?
Yeah. Yep.
You know what you want to get? Bentley's got one, and Sam Matterface has got one. A little
driver.
carry. What?
A driver.
Yeah, you're right. A little carry fan, a little portable fan.
No, I couldn't do it.
No, they're good, mate. Nowadays, you go on Amazon, you go, it's got all digital display, click, put it on the desk, boom, you're done.
Are you a sweaty bloke?
I mean, just clip that. That's all you need for today's show. Are you a sweaty bloke? No, I'm not a sweaty bloke.
Are you one of those guys that naturally sweats?
No.
No. I'm not either, to be fair.
Okay.
And I'm thankful for that, this weather. But some guys are. Some guys, like, literally, you've all got friends who you turn around and you think, you can see the sweat literally running off their forehead.
Like Mike McShane from Who's Got Line Is It Anyway? Who's got line is it anyway? What was that? Hold on, we can't move on. What was that?
Whose line is it? Anyway?
I've chucked and got in.
Have I got news for you?
That's exactly what I did there.
Gone down both roads.
Yeah. Do you remember Mike McShane?
I do remember him.
He was quite a big lad and was always mopping his brow with his handkerchief.
There you go. Some people are a bit like that. They're the people that suffer a bit this weather, who might need that fan you're on about. Personally, I would.
They're only about 20 quid.
I don't want to mess about buying a fan.
No, you're not messing about. You just buy one.
I wouldn't.
You get it. You go 2 clicks on your phone. Take you about 10 clicks. What, on a train?
You can step out in the middle bit, in between the carriages.
Do you go first class when you travel?
No. But, I've got the senior rail card. And by the way, it's quite a significant chunk off. Got to tell you.
Is it really? How much?
It is.
How old do you have to be to get one of them?
The trip down and back would normally cost you about 54 quid, right?
Yeah.
To come down and go back. With the card, it's like 33.
Yeah, hold on. You haven't told talkSPORT that you got the card. You claim back the full amount.
No, I'll claim back just what it cost me.
Claim back the full amount. Get a little receipt when you go to the.
Not that bothered.
Right, just when you thought Gianni Infantino had slipped out the headlines, he's back at the centre of a global football storm. Alongside Donald Trump, the FIFA president has sparked widespread outrage after revealing plans to sell commercial stakes in the World Cup. Chief sports correspondent for The Times, Martin Ziegler, who broke the story, joined us on The Breakfast Show earlier on, explained the whole situation.
I think the sort of the storm that it's provoked would make it, I think, quite hard, for Infantino to push this through. It's not just Europe. I think he'll have serious worries about this. I think the CONCACAF Federation of North America and Central America and the Caribbean are worried about it. Lots of other nations too. Interestingly, none of this has come from, this isn't Saudi Arabia or Qatar pushing this. So be interesting to see what their views are. Normally, they've been very supportive of Infantino. Obviously, Saudi Arabia have got the World Cup in 2034.
And Martin, does it come down to a vote then? Because you mentioned that FIFA's 211 members, the associates. I'm led to believe that if it does go through, they each get round about £15 million.
Yes, so that is the sort of big worry, is that each of the member countries would get around about £15 million as a stake in the new company, which they would be allowed to sell.
It is barking. On the back of that, UEFA have wasted no time in firing back. Prime Minister Andy Burnham has been equally critical. For more on this, I'm delighted to say joining us now is former FA Chief Exec, current Exec Chairman of Tranmere Rovers, Mark Palios joins us. Mark, good morning to you.
Morning, Mark.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Thanks so much for coming on. When you heard this news, what was your first thoughts on it? Were you as stunned as the rest of us?
I was talking to my daughters and they said to me that Infantino sounds like the name of a master criminal.
Don't repeat what you said to them on the back of that for legal reasons.
Well, I did refer to the fact that if you can turn up for the World Cup presentation wearing a pair of white pumps and suits, then it says everything. Listen, when it came out, I suppose I wasn't surprised that this would happen. It's another step in the commercialization and globalization of the game, or an attempt to do it. But there's a balance to be struck on that. And I think this crosses the line. And I think you've seen that from the reaction of everybody. Fundamentally, you're going to have differently motivated key stakeholders who are going to want paying back in some way. And the most whilst money will leave the game, they could produce more cash for the game. But I think the most likely thing that will happen in the short term is, to get the cash, they're going to have increased content. So, and you guys know the extent to which the schedule at the top end of the game is so heavily packed already. That's really going to cause problems, not just with player health, but also I think more fundamentally, it may start to pull the game away from its roots, from its fans, from its clubs. You've seen it in other sports whereby, in rugby, people will play in France and avoid the chance to play for England. People will play in the IPL Cricket League and stop playing for England in the test matches, etc. So there is a danger that the very top of the sport, if this was allowed to happen, you could eventually see players leaving clubs because the clubs are currently their employers, and actually you're having this elite top end of the game which moves away from the grassroots and then destroys the linkages we've all got. The names of clubs like Sheffield Wednesday, Tranmere Rovers, all linked into their communities, that gets shaken to its core. I don't think that's going to happen, but ultimately, if you don't stop things like this, that will happen.
Yeah. Mark, as a former chief executive of the FA, you'll have had plenty of people having pops at decisions that you made or wanted to make, etc., over the years. Where does this leave Gianni Infantino right now, do you think? Martin Ziegler, who wrote the article, broke the news, said that he still feels that he's pretty secure, he's pretty untouchable where he is in his position right now. But that can change quite quickly. Do you see him becoming isolated in any way, shape or form on the back of this?
I actually looked at this and thought, well, what I will see is what he will get out of this, I guess, I would think is probably an expanded World Cup into 64 teams,
right,
which is the next step in the thing. And Martin is entirely right. I think there are more FAs in FIFA than there are countries in the United Nations. And that was the strength of Sepp Blatter, because what he would do, he'd do the maths. And, he came into power when lots of cash came into the game through media, and he distributed that right across to the very small FAs. And this is exactly what Infantino's planning to do. And as a consequence, they all felt he was great because, the guy who's in a sort of an island FA, for example, suddenly becomes a big guy on the island because he's got loads of cash coming in to build sports stadiums and this and that and the other. So Sepp Blatter always did the maths. The FA, we only had one vote, so we couldn't really influence things unless we brought a block along with us, like UEFA. And I think that's where the strength of the resistance will come from UEFA, because UEFA, you already saw it when they tried to have the World Club competition. It was UEFA that was impacted by that, and they were very much against that. And I think you also have seen the strength of their response. So I think he won't get this at this stage, but I think it'll help him. He'll probably get the consolation prize of 64 teams in the World Cup.
It can be very appealing to the smaller nations to vote for him if you know you're guaranteed at least £15 million for that vote. If you're in charge of one of the smaller nations where the income was, I don't know, £2-3 million a year, and you had the chance to sort of quadruple that, which way would your vote go?
Yeah, well, I think you'd be stupid to refuse that from that perspective. So, I mean, that's, as I say, that was the power that Sepp Blatter had. He did the maths.
That's the worry, right?
It is the worry, but I think you've already seen that when you've got something like, I think it's not just the European nations that go against it, because their fear is more matches, more competitions, hitting the competitions that they've got. So I think you'll find that there's probably enough support on this one to see it off. But as I say, there's a real danger because this crosses the line to some extent where the ideal of sport is suffocated by the raison d'etre of business.
Mark, with that in mind then, how much power realistically do UEFA have? They've come out and poo-pooed it, as you would imagine. But can you realistically see European nations boycotting a future World Cup over it?
I could, yeah. I could see that. Because I think it is such a change that if they don't do something, if they don't use any power, and if they did boycott the World Cup, don't forget that's a massive blow to the World Cup's finances, because who's going to be sponsoring a World Cup without Germany, France, England, Spain in the World Cup? So if they stick together and do that, they'll get what they want.
Mark, come on, we've got to talk to you about Tranmere. How excited are the Tranmere fans? What's your thoughts ahead of the season coming?
We've had a major rethink. We've had two very poor seasons. and we looked at what we've been doing off the pitch as well as on the pitch, and I'm pretty confident that we've turned things around. We had a lot of serious injuries last year, and we didn't really get them back to play quick enough. So we've hopefully dealt with that. And with Daryl, we've got a very experienced manager who knows he's got to play the window quite well, because we let the squad run down for a couple of reasons, one of which, of course, we were looking to sell the club, and that's still ongoing at this point in time. So within the context of that uncertainty, we've still got to build for the season. We signed Tom Ince a few days ago. We've still got some more signings to make. So I'm hopeful that this year will be a far better season than last year, but it's a very low hurdle to get better than last year.
Mark, just quick, I know you mentioned your manager there. I know a lot goes on behind the scenes in football we're not aware of, but in your league, newly promoted York City have sacked their manager. I think you got a record points tally last season. That was a bit bizarre, wasn't it?
I never really comment on other clubs' trials and tribulations. I don't know. I've got no inside knowledge on why that happens. Sometimes it does. You see clubs say that the manager and the club are going different ways. That seems to be the euphemism they use, and that could cover a multitude of things. So I'd only be guessing at that, and wouldn't really want to pile any more pressure on York.
Okay, Mark, what a real pleasure. Thank you for your time, man.
Thanks,
Always good to speak.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man. Former FA Chief Exec, current
well,
Exec
Mark,
Chairman of Tranmere Rovers, Mark Palios with us there. Yeah, great chat.
Well. And I think he's right. He's right that it might well be that Infantino has his way in one or two other areas, potentially with that 64 team World Cup.
Yeah, we shall wait and see. Still to come on the Breakfast Show.
Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Spend £100 or more with a Travis Perkins trade account and you could win a brand new Ford Ranger. T's and C's apply.
Yes, what an hour and 10 coming your way. We'll be speaking exclusively live at 9 a.m. to the new Forest manager, Oliver Glasner, ahead of his very first campaign with the Reds. Plus, you'll hear from Captain Ryan Yates as well. And talking to great guests, if you missed our brilliant chat with Toby Alderweireld, you'll hear some of that later on as well. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins. It's 8:49, everyone.
Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Spend £100 or more at any Travis Perkins Hire or Benchmarks branch as a trade account holder and you could win a brand new Ford Ranger. T's and C's apply.
The Vinny Junior situation is interesting because I think when it came out of the weekend that Arsenal were keen, we all thought, well, how can they do that deal? He's on 400 grand a week. He'd smash Arsenal's pay structure.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, even though he's stalling on signing a new contract, are going to want a six-figure sum. But if they sign Diamonde, as looks likely, how do the two fit into the same team? And I think what's really interesting here, and Ben Jacobs, I think, has mentioned this a couple of times, they've got the same agent, Vinicius Junior and Jan Diamonde. So would his agency take Diamonde to Real Madrid knowing that he's going to compete with Vinicius Junior? I don't think Vinicius Junior to Arsenal is as fanciful as maybe it first appeared.
Now, when you look at Arsenal, they probably will. They've just got rid of Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard's gone.
So that's a space need, and they've only got Martinelli on that left hand side. So they do need somebody else. Who is that person that's going to be able to fill in that space for them? Because there's not a large selection around the world, is there, Quickie?
No, I thought it would be Morgan Rogers, to be honest. I thought that deal would get done. I know he met Mikel Arteta even before jetting out to the World Cup, and Arteta had made him a top target, but fair play, Chelsea came in and gazumped them. I'm not sure Arsenal would have paid £117 million anyway, but clearly they have got a hole in the squad. As you say, they've let Trossard go for a relatively modest sum, really, £17 million for a player. I think he scored some key goals, particularly last season. Seems a little bit on the cheap side, but I think they're going to do something sensational, and it could well be that Vinicius Junior is the man, because you're right.
Welcome back to The Breakfast Show. It's 8:52. We are here with Arnold Clark. It's the perfect time to upgrade your car. Get 2 years free servicing when you buy a used car in the upgrade event. Check it out online. It's me, Andy Goldstein Andy Townsend, alongside Forest Manager. We're building up to Oliver Glasner. Will be live in our show in the next 10 minutes. How about that? Can you ask me what we know on this Wednesday morning, Anne? Would you mind?
On this Wednesday morning, this particular Wednesday morning, it's very hot Wednesday morning.
Yeah, what do you want to know, mate?
What's happening?
Wow, that's a great question. João Pedro scored a 9th-minute hat-trick as Chelsea beat Western Sydney Warriors. Easy for me to say, 6-4 in Xabi Alonso's first public sighting as Chelsea boss. Who uses those words? First public sighting. Who's written that? Is that ChatGPT? Man City forward Savinho is piling on the pressure to the club to sell him to Spurs. The deal is said to be worth about
Not
£60
really
million.
done it at City, has he?
No,
Shown
60
flashes,
million's
hasn't he?
a lot, isn't it?
Shown, well, listen, going rate now, the going rate for any player coming out of a big club, it's significant money. But he never quite, to me, grabbed it at City, did he, when he had the opportunity?
The latest edition of Talk Boxing with Simon Jordan, Spencer Oliver, Paul Smith and heavyweight Richard Riakporhe is now live on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. On this week's show, the boys react to AJ's close victory over Christian Prenga. That's Simon Jordan tweet and AJ's gift to talkSPORT.
Well, I thought there were some interesting observations in there. Obviously, Barry is getting a bit decrepit, so I allow him to have a senior moment and make his observations that way. But also, Frank's obviously busy coming back from running errands, so he has opinion too. But I also think that they are right. When I first looked at the fight, Spence and Paul, and obviously Richard, my first reaction after the first round was not surprised, as Richard wasn't. I wasn't surprised by what was happening to Anthony. And then I saw the second round, and I saw Prenga come out and do the polar opposite of what he had done in the first round that got all the success, and it didn't make sense to him, and he didn't seem to be throwing anything. So my first reaction was, I don't like the look of this, I don't like the smell of this. But the more I look at the fight back, and the more I listen to the corner work that was done with Prenga, and the more that I've spoken to a few people, trainers that talked about what Prenga should have done, what grade of fighter he is, and what they expected in terms of the second round. Take it easy, you know, have a look at him first before you jump on him. It kind of takes me into the pathway that maybe I was a bit previous about the idea that there was something amiss in this fight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got it wrong then. Apology accepted. That's the longest-winded apology I've ever heard in my life. To hear the full episode, head over to talkSPORT Boxing's YouTube channel. We're going to have a quick break, and it's a quick one because make sure you stay where you are. Do not go anywhere. When we come back, the new Forest manager, Oliver Glasner, live on The Breakfast Show. I've read this a couple of times now. I can't help but think when he comes up with lines about people criticising the refereeing decisions and puts lines in his quotes such as "I'm sorry you missed it all," I can't help but think there's a little dig towards the head of UEFA there, Alexander Seferin.
Yeah, I think that's that's fair. Obviously, Ceferin decided to stay away from the World Cup final, which was quite unprecedented. FIFA were briefing, actually, that was a pre-planned decision, but the message coming out of UEFA very much was that it was a protest by their president. Actually, I picked out a couple of screenshots, and he does talk about some of the refereeing decisions and says it's curious the same countries employing these practices are the ones criticising. He's talking about the decision to overturn Flo Balogun's red card, which for me was probably the most shameful moment of this World Cup. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite, Andy. You were there. Troy obviously lives out in the States. I had a wonderful 5.5 weeks. I thought it was a brilliant tournament. I thought the American hospitality was terrific. But let's not pretend it was perfect. He also talks about bringing two countries at war together, uniting two countries at war, says Iran.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday too. It's 9 o'clock. How about that? Bang on. It's a breakfast show. It's me, Andy Goldstein Andy Townsend alongside. We're here with Arnold Clark. It's the perfect time to upgrade your car. Get 2 years free servicing when you buy a used car in the upgrade event. Check it out online. And get this. This is bonkers even saying it. Premier League is back in just over 3 weeks.
Amazing how quick it's all come round.
All gets underway on Friday, the 21st of August. Newly promoted Coventry, they take a trip to Arsenal, and it's live and exclusive on talkSPORT. Then 12:30 on Saturday, we're at Hull for their game at home to Manchester United. How excited are you about the return of the Premier League?
Is that? I thought you was putting it out to the general public.
Yeah, because I didn't look at you because I was just reading something.
Sorry.
So no, you're right. How excited are you about the return of the Premier League, Andy Townsend?
I am actually always excited.
Can I stop you there? Sorry, because our next guest is here. We were just what's called fluffing,
right?
Just to get words out of our mouth to build up to our next guest, who I'm told is now ready.
Brilliant.
We have been building up to it all morning. I'm absolutely delighted to say that joining us live from Portugal is a man who has won the Europa League, the FA Cup, and of course the Conference League. It's the new Forest manager. Let's say hello and good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Show to Oliver Glasner. Oliver, good morning to you.
Very good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us today live on the Breakfast Show. First things first, how are you settling in? How does it feel to prepare your very first season in charge of Nottingham Forest?
Oh, it has been all very positive so far. So really, players are doing very well with great work ethic and very good group of players, great group of staff, and yeah, we're enjoying now the Portugal camp. But on the other side, 3 days to go. We are here now for I think 9 days, and it's a very good camp.
Oliver, what's it like when you get to a new football club and you're aware of what players you've got, but you don't really know them too well? How long does it take for you to understand every single player you've got in your squad?
Yes, that's always the first part is getting each other known, and it's also not every player has returned yet. So Dan Ndoye will join us at Nottingham next week, so because he played a very long World Cup with Switzerland. Ibrahim Sangare just returned on Monday. So yes, that's getting each other known as a person. Of course, understanding them better because yeah, I just knew them when I played against Forest, and then when you train together every single day, and then you get a better understanding of the player. And also now it's that we all have the same idea of how we want to play football, in and out of possession. A lot of work to do. Also, the players have to get physically ready, and that's what we started 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oliver, in recent seasons, Nottingham Forest have always been very active, bringing players into the club and perhaps then some players moving on. We've seen that happen, losing Elliot Anderson. So I'm sure you're anxious to get some more new faces into the camp. For the Nottingham Forest fans listening, how soon can they expect some more faces coming in?
I'm not anxious. It's I think the transfer market started slow in the how many players have been traded so far, but of course there were a few big trades of like Elliot Anderson and like a few other players. But yeah, we are preparing some new signings, and yeah, it's like always. At the end you need 4 parties to agree. Yeah? That's of course both clubs have to find a solution, the player, the agent as well, and that's what we are trying beside preparing for the season. But I'm really looking forward, and I'm very confident in the board that we will get the right players. We have already defined the profiles we are looking for, what we want to add, what we don't have probably in our squad yet, and we identified our targets, but again, there is some work to do to get the deals over the line.
You mentioned Elliot Anderson there, a fan's favourite, a great player. How annoying was it when you came in that he left so soon, and how close were you, if at all, were you to keeping him, maybe convincing him to stay at Forest for another season? Was that ever on the cards?
No, it was decided that he will leave, and I think that's what we have to accept, and we are not at the end of the food chain in football, so probably our best players will always have big offers, and then it is and at the end, if we decide that we sell a player, there are always 2 reasons. So number one is, or there could be 2 reasons, let's say it like this. So you need the money due to financial reasons. That was not the case here at Nottingham. Or the second part is that you believe that you can strengthen your team, but that doesn't mean just on this one position. I think it's not possible to get a better player right now than Elliot Anderson was for Nottingham Forest, but maybe we can add 1 or 2 more players on other positions where we can get better as a team, and that's what we try to do.
Yeah. The quality of the players, Oliver, have you been pleased with what you've seen so far, what you've witnessed?
Oh yes, absolutely. So players are showing what they're capable of doing and really listening and working very hard. And then, like it's always in pre-season, then it's a little bit of ups and downs. When players get fatigued, probably it's not the best time to play or to show the best version of yourself. But again, we know what the players are. We want always that they play with their strengths, that they play in the best position where they can be the best version of themselves. And so far it's all good, and really pleased with the pre-season, with what I have seen from the players.
Oliver, for people that aren't watching, I can tell them you've got a Forest training top on, and at the top of the badge are 2 stars, one for each European Cup the club has won. This is a big club you've come to. Some would say maybe a sleeping giant. You come to the club with a great track record. What, realistically, are your aims for Forest this season?
I think step number 1 has to be to get consistency into the club, and this is after a very difficult last year. I don't know the reasons, and it's also it's the past. Like the 2 stars, it's the past. So I think you can't rely that you won European trophies in the 70s and 1980s. It's so long ago. I think none of our players has been born at that time. So we have to write our own book. We have to write our own history. And number 1 is getting consistency into this club, and then building on a very good basement and going step by step forward. Also, everybody has to accept that it's just the 5th season in the Premier League for Nottingham Forest after, I think, around 20 years in League One and the Championship. So I honestly think that Forest has done a brilliant job in the last years, and that then now it's with consistency, with going step by step forward. We want to establish in the top half of the Premier League, but we all know how challenging and how competitive the Premier League is. And this is what we also have to accept. So we are not the only ones who understand football, who can play football. There are many great teams, many great players, many great managers in the Premier League, and this is what we have to accept. But if we do our job in a proper way, then it's possible to establish in the top half of the Premier League, because we have great requirements for this.
Is that more important to you as a manager this season, the top half finish over a trophy?
I never value again. I never said that I want to win a trophy, but this year it's. One thing is definitely clear: we want to win a European trophy, because we don't play European football, and that means we will play 3 competitions. That's the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the League Cup. And like I always said, it's just my mindset. We enter any competition to win it. I don't know if it's realistic to win the Premier League, but everything else is possible. But it doesn't make sense now to talk about the result that could be next May or June. So now it's really important to create the present, work hard day by day, and then let's see what we will achieve.
Yeah, you've got many good players, Oliver. Morgan Gibbs-White is a player I really enjoy watching. I think he's improved dramatically over the last few years. Can you find another level for him? Can you improve him even more?
Well, that's what we will try. So I and we can't improve him, so he can just do it himself. But we can support him to find some parts in his game where he can improve. I don't know if he can score more goals than 15. I think he was top for a centre midfielder, for an attacking midfielder, scoring 15 goals in the Premier League. Also just scoring 1 penalty, so 14 from open play. That's really great. But there are some other parts, I think, where he can improve, and he's a player who can make the difference. We can see it is such an understanding of the game, and he can assist, he can score, and he's also working very hard. So really delighted to have him in the squad.
Oliver, how much are you looking forward to October the 10th?
What is then?
You're going to
So far away.
Selhurst Park. You're going to.
Okay. Yeah, looking forward to it. So, like always, so I had more than 2 amazing years at Crystal Palace at South London, and I really enjoyed every single day there with the players, with the staff, with the ownership. Again, 2 fantastic years that I will always remember in my life, and winning 3 trophies at the end was amazing. So I'm really looking forward to this game, but of course it will be very special to go to the away dressing room and not to the home dressing room.
Yeah, it's you mentioned there 3 trophies. You're an absolute legend at that club. You obviously have fond memories of your time there. What sort of reception do you think you'll get when you go back there?
I don't know, to be honest. I just mentioned it before, and I was always very honest with Palace. So I decided to leave the club many months before the end of last season, and we had a great ending with winning the Conference League. So just to repeat, I told Steve Parish in October last year that I will leave in summer. I didn't know what happens then, to be honest, no idea. But it was, for me, I had the feeling it's the right time for Crystal Palace, it's the right time for Oliver Glasner, and that's why I decided to make this step. But this had nothing to do with Nottingham Forest at that time. And then, yeah, during summer it happened, after really being attached by many clubs all over Europe, and one of these clubs was Nottingham Forest. And then I always think about what's possible, what can we achieve, is it realistic, and then I take a decision. And I can just take a decision where I feel comfortable with, where my family feels comfortable with, and I can't ask every single one if he is fine with my decisions. So I'm very realistic. I think if you are not fine with my move to Nottingham Forest and many others, and I think this will be the majority, will look back for these 2.5 great years at Palace, and we will always have a great connection together.
I'm curious, Oliver, after that initial discussion where you said you were leaving the club and then you did remarkably well, you became the most successful manager Palace have ever had, was there late on ever a discussion to try and keep you at the club?
No, I was very clear in my message, and I told the players before I announced it publicly. I told the players before, and I told them the same, because many had concerns. Can we end the season successfully? And I told them, if they now drop the standard, I would feel that I failed. Because this was always the message, don't do it for the manager, it just makes no sense. Do it for yourself, do it for the group, do it for the fans, do it for the club. And I think then winning the Conference League just showed that we created a different mindset, that we set different standards in the club, so that the players are ambitious, they want to play European football again, that they want to win silverware. And I think this was, for me personally, was the biggest achievement in this more than 2 years at Palace, that we really could change the mindset of the players and of the club, and that makes me proud. And so it was always clear to leave, but it was also on the other side always clear that we will work very hard, that we will stick together until the end of the season to win another silverware, and that's why we could achieve it.
Yeah, and just looking to the start of the season, Oliver, Leeds at home, Liverpool away, then Spurs at home, Villa away. That's a pretty tough start to any campaign. That's an exciting month to look forward to, for sure.
Oh yes, absolutely. But I never think about, is it a difficult start, a challenging start? So we take it how it is. We take it game by game, and we can't influence it. So it's the best way is prepare in the best possible way to be in the best possible shape at the beginning of the season. That's what we are doing, investing a lot, that we are ready for Leeds, and then going to Anfield Road. But now is still focus on creating a shared way of playing, everybody understanding each other, what we want to do. And honestly, I don't think that we are in our top shape against Leeds, but over weeks when we work on a daily basis, we will improve. And then during the season, I really believe that we can play a fantastic season.
A quick word about Mr. Marinakis, a very ambitious man. What's your relationship with him like, Oliver?
Oh yes, it was one of the crucial parts, his ambition, that he wants to bring Nottingham Forest back where it has been, to always step by step, and we have a very good relationship, we have a very honest relationship. That's what I told him. You know, I never tell somebody what he wants to hear. I always tell him my honest opinion. I think that's what everybody deserves, and also Mr. Marinakis. That doesn't mean that we always have the same opinion, and then we discuss. But so far we have a great relationship because we have one big goal together, and that is improving Nottingham Forest and making step by step into the top half of the Premier League.
Oliver, I've really enjoyed your time. Thank you so much for it. Before I let you go, the big story, I'm sure you're aware of it, away from Forest this morning, is that FIFA are trying to sell off the World Cup. I'm sure you're across this. What's your view on that? We all think it's terrible this end, but what's your view on it?
Honestly, I was just briefed before the interview. I just read the headline somewhere, but I didn't really read the articles and all the stuff. So because I'm so much to do here, and really just thinking about our team, about the way we want to play, many videos, many analyses. So I don't really know. We know that football is getting more and more commercialized, but on the other side, the most important thing is that always football stays in the middle and the center of the sports. And again, I don't really know the plans in detail, but I mentioned it before. I think, and also this after the last World Cup, there shouldn't be more teams involved. It was a 5-week tournament. It was very long. Many teams being there. I also think there is a point where it's enough in all situations, in regarding all points. Is it the money? Is it the amount of teams? Is it the length of the tournament? So I know, like many players, that they have 2 or 3 weeks off and then playing 70 games again, and at the end, I think it's enough, and it should be how it has been. Football in the center of the sports. That's the best thing. That's what every fan loves, what every player loves, every manager loves, and hopefully that stays as long as possible.
Oliver, it's been a real pleasure. You guys, certainly Premier League managers, don't have to do things like this. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts here at talkSPORT, we really, really appreciate you allowing us in.
Yeah.
My last question is a request. Our very own Max Scott, I understand he's going to be training with you a bit later on. He's going to have a bleep test. Can you work him incredibly hard? He's very lazy.
Yes, we will do. We will do. So right now he will enjoy going to Portugal because it's a lovely weather here, but if you ask him in the afternoon, he will say, I want to go back to the UK.
Okay. Oliver, again, from the bottom of our hearts, it's very kind that you take the time out to speak to us here live on The Breakfast Show on talkSPORT. Thank you so much. Good luck for the season.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
Goodbye.
How about that? How about that? That's great.
Good.
Oliver Glasner, not the Forest manager.
Do you know, the
fantastic.
Andy, I've always said the atmosphere at Nottingham Forest before a game is as good as anywhere in the Premier League.
You did say that.
Sweaty, the atmosphere in that stadium as we get building up to kick-off, when they go into a bit of Mulligan time, they go, it's fantastic.
It's great.
It
Well,
really
let me tell you, the big names don't end there. Oh, no, sorry. We're going to have a short break. Then we'll be joined live in just a moment on The Breakfast Show by the Forest captain, Ryan Yates. How about that? That's all coming up right after this.
Vinicius Junior. I'll read this from the Telegraph Sport, their sports pull-out this morning. Dom King writes, Arsenal prepared to offer Brazilian forward Vini Junior the biggest contract in the club's history as they plot to outline their soaring ambition. He currently commands a weekly salary 400,000 euros a week at Madrid, but Arsenal would look to improve that to maximise their chances of pulling off an audacious coup. It kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it, boys? On Saturday afternoon, he's got a year left on his deal at Real Madrid. Arsenal exploring the possibility, Troy, of signing Vinny Jr. Is it going to happen? And if it does happen, where does this rank in Premier League history in terms of biggest coups for the Premier League, not just Arsenal?
If it did happen, it would be amazing for the Premier League to have a superstar on that level in terms of global appeal, blah, 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 all that stuff. I don't like it.
Why?
I don't like it. I don't think it suits the way that Arsenal play. I don't think his personality suits Arteta.
What do you mean his personality?
I think he's a massive diva in regard to like what he wants, what he needs, and I don't think he would buy into the collective. And now that would be something new for Arteta to have to deal with, right? Because he's all about the group. So how do you have Saka on one side, who's the captain, has done everything right, and then you bring in this guy and go, oh, by the way, everyone, give him the ball, and you have to keep giving him the ball. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't think it helps Arsenal.
Morning, everyone. It's 9:20. Hold on, 9:20, nearly there. 4. You're listening to the Breakfast Show on talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein Andy Townsend. I'll tell you what. If you've just tuned in, where have you been? You should be kicking yourselves. Spurs, Southampton, Belgium legend Toby Alderweireld joined us earlier on in the show. We just spoke to the new Forest manager, Oliver Glasner. How about that? But the big names do not stop there. talkSPORT's Max Scott, he's not the big name, is out in Portugal with Forest on their pre-season tour, and we can cross live now. He's sitting down. He's a Forest fan. This is a day in the sun, excuse the pun, for Max Scott. He's sitting down with club captain Ryan Yates. Max, good morning again.
Yeah, good morning, boys. Pinch me moment stuff. I've just been handed a training kit for when I go through the bleep test a little bit later on. But with Ryan Yates, club captain, beating heart of this Forest side. You've scored in all top 5 English leagues and the Europa League. Talk to me just about what it feels. You've seen the highs and the lows. What does it feel like to be club captain at Forest in the Premier League?
Yeah, living the dream, mate. It's been some journey. Obviously since my loan days and the early days under the likes of Martin O'Neill and Roy Keane, and here we are today under Oliver Glasner and a really exciting future.
Not a bad appointment, is it?
Yeah, one me, myself personally and everyone at the club is extremely excited for. Obviously only been here a couple of weeks, but some really fresh ideas, and hopefully the club is going in the right direction, and we're all really excited for what's to come.
Happy days. What's pre-season like? I've been sort of speaking to people working at the club. Obviously when you follow on social media, you see beautiful Portuguese golf courses, sun's out, everyone's having a bit of a laugh, but from what I'm hearing, there's an intensity about this which must be tough after a summer off.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Pre-season is a lot of running, a lot of hard work, but after we've had a break, I think we're ready to do that. That's what we're made for as athletes, and the new managers are extremely intense with every single thing we do. Even day before the game, the sessions are extremely intense, and we're building that fitness, and it's been a fantastic, first couple of weeks. Worked really hard and tried to implement some of his new ideas. So yeah.
When you come back, do you get a little bit of a sense about who's been living it large in the summer and who's been grafted? I'm not going to ask you to name names, but can you tell?
Honestly, I'll be completely honest. I think nowadays, especially at the level we're at in the Premier League, I think nobody comes back in bad shape. I think everybody does their work, whether they have their own trainers and they're doing the work abroad in the gym, or they're doing the program the club set. A lot of the things are monitored now, and everyone comes back in good nick, because you can't come back in bad shape anymore. You need to be ready to go from the first session.
A lot's made these days about fixture schedules, about the amount of football that players are playing. If you compare your career to, someone in the same position 20 years ago, you'd have played thousands more minutes. How do you switch off in the summer? What sort of stuff do you get up to? Because you're not like a lot of pros, sort of, flashing the new watches on social media. You keep it pretty straight. Yeah. So what do you get up to in the summer? How do you switch off?
Well, straight away I went to play quite a bit of golf.
Okay. One of those.
Yeah, one of them.
Constant golf.
Yeah, it's tough because I'm not the best, to be fair, but we don't really get, especially last season, we didn't get much time to play, so went and played a bit of golf. Just spent a lot of time with the family, and just tried as much as possible to switch off from football. Yeah. I am quite obsessed with the game, so it is difficult.
Have you been playing much out here? Because there's golf courses everywhere here.
Yeah, we've played a little bit, but like you say, the sessions are extremely intense, and you want to let your body recover as well. So yeah, we've tried to play a little bit, but the main focus has been on the football.
I'm doing a bleep test later on. I am not a professional in any stretch of the imagination. I like going to the pub. I've enjoyed the World Cup, working constantly, getting a few beers in when I can. Have you got any advice for the bleep test?
Have you done that? Is that your own?
Last time I did it was 16 GCSE.
Off your own back?
PE.
Oh, it's going to be tough. That. I look forward to watching it. You're doing it?
I'm doing it.
Where we're training.
Yeah. Maybe a bit of motivational speech from Yatesy.
Okay,
that'd go down well.
Yeah, well, I think you'll need that, to be fair.
Right, okay.
I look forward to watching that.
So look, talk to me about next season. We know last season there was a lot of change at the football club. It feels like this is a real sort of statement of ambition for the football club to get Glasgow in. We know the quality of the squad. We imagine there'll be more players coming in. What's the sort of ambition from Glasgow to the players about what he wants from you next season?
To be honest, we haven't really set any goals or targets for the season. I think straight away he's just wanted to set the tone with how he wants us to work as a group. Yeah. I think he's mentioned multiple times the team spirit, the always putting the side first, and yeah, he's brought some fantastic ideas that I've not come across in my career, and you can just tell straight away that he's an elite level coach. Yeah. And I just think it's credit to the club for appointing a manager of such stature with a proven record, and the goal ultimately is to get back and play European football, because it was incredible last season to get a taste of it. Unfortunately, we obviously couldn't go all the way to the final, but I think once you've had the taste of it for the first time, you want to get back there as soon as possible.
Well, you'll have seen fans like me that went and followed Forest in Europe. It was an unbelievable moment for the club going full circle, and to hear that from you, that's the ambition. I know will be exciting for Forest fans. Just one last thing from me. It's Mr. Marinakis' birthday tomorrow. If you're given, if the club put, have a kitty together and they all put 100 quid in or whatever, what present are you getting for the big man?
What I get the big man? I don't know. He's probably got everything, hasn't he? Yeah. He's probably already got everything. Probably 3 points against Leeds on the first day, I think.
I like that.
I'm not sure. He's an absolute winner, so anything to help us win, I'm sure would go down well.
Ryan Yates, club captain, absolute legend, mate. Thank you so much for joining us on talkSPORT. And
appreciate it.
We'll catch up. I'm actually joining you for the meditation tonight.
Oh, perfect. You probably need that after the bleep test, to be fair.
If I make it, mate. I'm a bit concerned about the old cardiovascular system, but we'll see how it goes. Absolute pleasure. Ryan Yates live in the studio. talkSPORT and Forest coverage for the next couple of days. Bucket list stuff for me, Andy.
Ryan, can you hear me? By the way, it's Andy here back in London. Can you hear me, Ryan?
Yep.
Ryan, you're obviously
Yeah,
aware
yeah.
that Max is a big fan. All I'll say is, I wish my wife looked at me like he's been looking at you for the last 15 minutes. Are you aware of how much of a fan he is of
I love
Boris?
that.
Honestly, it's ridiculous, Ryan.
You do.
Yeah, I'm a little bit aware, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I remember having a good chat with Alan Brazil about, he was going through all the legends, you know, Viv Anderson, Robbo, etc. I was like, it's Yatesy for me.
No, you can't put me in that bracket.
Oh no, you're not in the same bracket, but for my lifetime, you're the best man.
Ryan, just make sure, Ryan, on that bleep test that he kills over at the end, all right? Do not let him off lightly.
Okay, nice. I'll make sure I get a little video of it if I
Yes.
can. Vomiting in the Portuguese sun.
Yeah. Max, how are you feeling, Max? You all right? You know what I mean? You literally have regressed into an 11-year-old, haven't you?
Yeah, well, look, like, you know, stuff that dreams are made of. I won't be saying this at, you know, approximately 11:30 when I'm keeled over after the bleep test. But until then, I'm going to enjoy it, boys.
Good. Ryan, thank you so much for your time, pal. Good luck for the season.
No problem. Cheers.
Thanks, man. There you go, Max Scott, living the dream.
He's living the dream.
How he was looking at him, he's into his eyes.
Was it? Look, it's fantastic for Max to be able to go there and be part of that,
Yeah.
and witness what they're doing and witness the work that they're. And I mean, it's interesting. He's joining them for meditation later on.
Yeah, I don't think Ryan knows that. I don't think that's part of the plans. I think he's just going to nip into his bedroom when he's rested.
When he's rested.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Next up we go. How about this, from A-list to Z-list? Alex Crook will be on us on our show right after this. It's 9:32. What do you make of that, Vinicius Junior? He doesn't like it.
I think there's a lot of assumption in it. I saw the clip, and let's be honest, it's a section of a clip, right? So me and him had a back and forth, and it was actually a good chat actually on WhatsApp. And I said, listen, mate, I'm going on talkSPORT and I'm talking about this. And he goes, well, think about it, Joel. Like, you know, Mikel has gotten rid of the likes of Aubameyang because of, you know, the attitude issues. Why should he go back to that once, you know, you've gone so far, you've won the league, you've done everything. Now you're going to bring in someone who could disturb the peace. And he's been so-so. That's what triggered me when he said he's been so-so for Madrid and Brazil. I said, hang on a minute, Troy. You're saying he's been so-and-so for Madrid, but if we look at the stats, in 2025-2026 season, he had 53 games, 22 goals, 9 assists. That's 9 assists. That's 31 goal contributions. And don't forget, the person who operates in his favoured position is the one and only Kylian Mbappe. Now, it's very obvious that him and Kylian are on each other's toes. So it's not that he's so-so. They haven't been able to get the best out of Vinny for the last 2 years. Is it his fault? No. It's because they've got two players playing in similar positions. He then said he's so-so for Brazil. Well, Brazil are in a transition anyway. They haven't been the best in general. I think there's a lot of assumption there where he's not going to buy into it. We don't know if he's going to buy into it or not. I do understand that it does change hierarchy. They are going to have to start playing him the ball, but so what? We are a club that needs this kind of signing. This is our Ozil signing.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earned 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same. and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
.37, good morning, welcome back to the talkSPORT Breakfast Show. It's me, Andy Goldstein Andy Townsend and Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out their website for more details. Now, I said before the break we were going from A-list to Z-list, and that's because we've already spoken on the show. It has been a great show. Toby Alderweireld joined us for about 20 minutes. We just spoke to Ryan Yates. Oliver Glasner was live with me and Andy as well. By the way, if you've missed any of that, you can hear it on the talkSPORT website. But talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, never gets starstruck by anyone. Even yesterday when he was picking up his £9,000 winnings. Unbelievable. Let's say hello and good morning to the very wealthy Crookster. Alex Crook, good morning to you.
Crookie.
Morning, boys. You good?
What a day you had yesterday. $9,000 you won. That's unbelievable. Well done to you. 6 out of 8 winners. Unbelievable day.
6 out of 8 is factually correct.
6 out of 8.
£9,000, not quite so correct, but yeah.
I've got that text from you. $9,000 you won yesterday. Do you want me to show it to the world?
Crookie, what happened in the other 2 races?
Not a lot, to be fair. Yeah, I think one favourite let me down. But 6 out of 8, I'll take that.
Tell you,
I've still got 4 days to give it all back.
Crookie, I'm just looking at your eyes now. What time did you get in?
I've just been sent a picture of me, and this won't surprise you. After my Miami exploits, I fell asleep on a sun lounger about 1 o'clock in the morning outside my pal's house.
Wow, that's unbelievable levels. I noticed either you sent me the text or I saw it on social media, but the hat, Dallas the hat came back.
It did, and we're on the champagne lawn today at Goodwood. It's sweltering down here, so I think the hat is going to be needed to keep me cool.
I think you need sunglasses. Those eyes could tell a few stories. Right, let's run through a few transfers. This Bradley Barcola to Liverpool is not going away, is it?
No, certainly isn't. We reported last night exclusively on the talkSPORT website, Liverpool ready to make an opening bid for Barcola. I think it will be quite a way short of the 145 million that PSG are quoting as an asking price, nearer the 80 million mark. So you'd imagine there's a bit of work to be done on the fee. They tried to sign Barcola back in 2025. At that stage, the price was only 85 million euros. So it's doubled with what PSG are requesting now. I think Barcola is relatively keen to make the move because he's not signed the new contract in the French capital, but a lot of work to be done. But certainly, I think Barcola is now emerging as a priority target for Liverpool.
And the Danny Welbeck one looks like it's inching ever closer to completion. Crookie, apparently a medical on the cards now, next 24 hours.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty much done and dusted. A 2-year contract on offer at Stamford Bridge. Welbeck, very much at the veteran stage of his career now. Andy and I debated it yesterday whether Manchester United should be part of the conversation. That isn't going to happen. And this is Chelsea looking to bring more experience into their dressing room. They're still interested in Jordan Henderson as well. But yeah, Welbeck, I think, is going to happen. And interested to see how Brighton replace him because he's been quite a key player for them in the last couple of seasons.
Good point.
Let's move on to a bit of Real Madrid chat. talkSPORT understands Jose wants Vinicius Jr. to stay at the club. They're working on talks to extend his deal. I personally don't think that he was ever, I might be wrong, but he was ever destined to leave that club. I just think his agent doing his job perfectly well. I don't think he was ever going to move to Arsenal. Do you?
You may be right. I mean, what I can say is the Arsenal interest was genuine. Certainly, they've asked the question, but I think Jose was always keen to keep Vinicius Jr., trying to end a barren couple of years in terms of trophies at the Bernabeu. Obviously, we know that Vinicius' agent has been driving a hard bargain in terms of wages. So there's certainly no harm in him being linked to Arsenal. But yeah, the direction of travel does seem to be that he'll stay. And I wonder now if the Gunners might turn their attention to Barkler, because they're certainly looking for reinforcements in the wide areas.
Would you make of the windows as it happens so far, Crookie, in terms of the amounts of money that are spent? Obviously, there will be a massive flurry towards the end of it. Of course, there will. Teams having a good look pre-season, realising potentially they maybe don't have enough or not quite convinced about the depth and size of their squads. But do you think we'll see an increase in spending this year, or do you think it will go down significantly?
Well, it seems to be feast or famine at the moment. We've not had the volume of transfers you would usually associate with your typical summer window. I think that's partly because obviously the World Cup took centre stage, but the deals that have happened have been big, haven't they? Elliot Anderson for a British record fee, that was then eclipsed by Morgan Rogers. We're talking big money potentially for Bradley Barkler as well. So, yeah, in terms of overall spend, I think it probably will get to record levels. I'm expecting a busy August now. Now the World Cup is over, all the players, or most of them, are back in pre-season training. And, yeah, I think there's a lot of clubs who've still got a fair deal of business to do. Good sign of Coventry, by the way. We reported this one last night as well. Carl Rushworth, goalkeeper, did well there on loan last season. I think he sees himself as a future England number one. He's on his way from Brighton to Coventry, £22.5 million the fee. I've just been told this morning he's agreed a 5-year contract, Rushworth.
Good work. Crookie, we'll let you get back to that sun lounger. Thanks so much for your time, pal. Enjoy the racing.
Cheers, boys. Let's get 7 minutes today.
There's another $9,000 on the way. talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, there. Now, if you missed it earlier, this was great. We had the absolute legend that is former Spurs and Belgium defender Toby Alderweireld on the show. We asked Toby about how this current Spurs team compares to the one he played in, which came so close to the title.
Yeah, of course, not easy. The only positive thing is the trophy, of course. That's good, finally. On the other hand, you see that the team is struggling and they don't have the same standards anymore than we had. I think when I arrived, I think almost every season we got in top four. We like you said, we challenged for the title. Unfortunately, we didn't win it, but I think there was difficult times as well, because White Hart Lane, we went to Wembley, then we went to the new stadium, but still we did well. And now you see that it hurts a little bit in the last 2 years. But I see some difference now. The transfers that they did, it's all positive. I think it's Premier League proven players, because that's something you need, because of course you cannot have a season like last season.
Just go back to the beginning of your answer there. You said they don't have the same standards that you had when you were there. What do you mean by that?
I mean, my feeling is that of course I'm not every day in that group, and it's easy to say this where I am, but my feeling is, in my time, everyone was so proud to play for the badge. We worked so hard. We did everything for the club, and sometimes that's something I miss. You see you hear some things, you read some things about the captain, and he's not there, and then they get a red card, and you don't feel like they are really involved. But again, it's easy to see it from the outside. But that's what in my period was totally different.
Do you think Roberto De Zerbi can get to those levels, Toby, that Maurizio Pochettino did? Do you think he can set those standards?
Yeah, you saw from the beginning straight away. He had a good connection with the fans. He changed the mentality, and now with some transfers and the way he wants to play, it's positive football. I think he's the right manager at the right time for Spurs. So yeah, I really think he can go back to, like I said, the standards from a couple of years ago.
Toby, when you were talking about your captain is there, then he's not there, I'm guessing you're referring to Christian Romero. Have a listen to what Dean Saunders said on The Breakfast Show on Friday about him.
Romero is up there with one of the worst captains in the history of the Premier League. Spurs have finished 17th 2 years running. He was the captain, so he can't be that good, can he? And he's an absolute liability on the pitch. He's a walking red card, and his behaviour in the World Cup after the whistle went sums him up.
What are your thoughts on that, Toby?
First of all, I think he's an unbelievable player. On his day, you see it with Spurs. Argentina is so good. The other thing is, for me, I'm not going to say how I see a centre-back. You have to have a standard from 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, And sometimes he's 10 out of 10, and sometimes, with a red card or with some sort of action, you think, that's not what the team needed now.
That was Toby Alderweireld there, the full interview on the talkSPORT YouTube channel. How much would he go for now in his pomp?
Ooh,
he was
that's
unbelievable
a
defender,
good
wasn't he?
question.
Spurs fans adore him.
He would be
at least 90.
Yeah, he's up in the 75s, 80 millions, and he would be all day long. He's very, very... And interesting there when he said, look, come on, as a centre-half, you are expected to give a level of consistency, something that we can rely on, and we know that you'll bring to the table every week. And he's right. Romero, as good as he can also be a 4 out of 10 because he does something daft.
Yeah. Reminder, as I said, that interview in full on the talkSPORT YouTube channel. It's 9:46, last part of our breakfast show, coming up right after this.
Your neutral hat on, right? Remove the fact that I'm Liverpool and you're Chelsea. Just to have one of the best players in the world come to the Premier League when we're so used to losing the best players in the world to La Liga is massive for the Premier League.
It'd be massive, absolutely massive for the Premier League. I totally agree with you. But I think it's you have to look at it through the lens of Arsenal. You have to look at what this means for Arsenal. They're behaving exactly as they should. When you are champions, being champions of England comes with the power. It comes with the opportunity, and they're making the most of it. I think if this happens, Vinicius Junior landing at Arsenal were already Premier League champions. They were Champions League finalists. They were Champions League semi-finalists last year. You think about the momentum of Arsenal. If he lands at Arsenal and is the missing piece to them winning a European Cup, it immediately becomes money well spent. It probably goes down, off the top of my head here, biggest signing in Premier League history?
Yeah.
When you think about what rivals it, I think you could argue maybe. Do you remember when Pogba? Are you aware of how much of a fan he is of Loris? Honestly, it's ridiculous, Ryan.
You do?
Yeah, I'm a little bit aware, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I remember having a good chat with Alan Brazil about he was going through all the legends, Viv Anderson, Robbo, etc. I was like, he hates you for me.
No, you can't put me in that bracket.
Oh no, for my lifetime. Yeah. You're the best, mate.
Max, how are you feeling, Max? You all right? You literally regressed into an 11-year-old, haven't you?
Yeah, well, look, stuff that dreams are made of. You're the best.
Yeah, it's a breakfast show. It's me, Andy Goldstein Andy Townsend. Max Scott there, getting all gooey-eyed.
I remember with Max and last season when Forest played Villa in the semis of the Europa League, right? When they played, I remember Max being on one of the shows and you could just hear it in his voice how gutted he was that they didn't quite get over the line in those semi-finals. Why wouldn't he be disappointed? But you can, even as a broadcaster and a good broadcaster that he is, you can't help bring it to the
no, of course not. When it's your team,
when it really hurts and it's your team.
That interview with Ryan Rates and our interview with Oliver Glasner, they're available on YouTube as we speak. Right, as Andy alongside me, Andy Townsend, is back on breakfast. It's time for a bit of this.
you know, I'm going to say something here, Ali. Not for me, Clive. I mean, that's just something you just say to people. Any second now, we're going to hear the biggest rip where his bum cheeks come flying out the back of them strides. Oh, it's lovely when you wake up, there's a mattress outside your front door, isn't there? We got a bloke at work, we call him Pothole because everyone tries to avoid him. I thought I saw something similar to a large cat. Not for me, Clive.
Yeah, he made his name on the pitch for the likes of Welling and Weymouth. That made the phrase, not for me, Clive, legendary while on comms duty. So it's time to put Andy Townsend to the test in for me or not for me, Clive.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to put some questions to you. And you, the first one we talked about earlier on, this is a bit nuts. It's made headlines all across the world. A cricketer in South Durham has been dubbed Clicky Pointing after being caught allegedly cheating during a game. The fielder clicks his fingers when the ball passes the batsman. I don't think that's a click. To make it seem like the ball has hit the bat and then the wicket keeper catches the ball and is given out. It's caused a lot of anger among cricket fans, none more than Piers Morgan, who sent us this exclusive voice note.
This is a message for Saltburn Cricket Club. What the hell were you lot doing? Seriously, this is one of the most snivelling, disgusting, shameful, treacherous pieces of rogue behaviour I've ever seen in amateur sport. You should be ashamed of yourself. And don't tell me that, rather like with the Australian ball tampering scandal, only 3 of you knew. You were all in on it, weren't you? You've known about this for years, season after season. What an absolute disgrace. Shame on all of you.
He's gone over the top of it there, Piers. Disgraceful behaviour.
He is right. It can't just be what they're all in on it. Piers is right.
Oh yeah. They've been in the pub, whenever it was, and the fellow in question has gone like that, and someone's gone, that's a bit loud. How'd you do that? And they've gone, we've got a little plan here. You got a problem with that? Is that for me or not for me, Clive?
Come
on.
For me, Clive, I think a little bit of that.
A little bit of cheating, doesn't it? Does it?
It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
A little bit of fun.
A little bit of fun. Obviously, you can't have it in professional sport. Of course, we can't.
Little
But
click.
in amateur stuff,
Initiative.
and it's something that they must have conjured up in the pub, as you say, or on the way to the game in the car. Someone said, "How about I click my fingers just as the ball goes past the bat?" And we all scream, "How's that?" And we get it.
Funny, you'll be laughing about that.
Be a bit of a laugh and a joke, and it's actually happened. And they thought they got away with it, and they haven't.
Yeah.
They've been rumbled.
Saltburn, that was right. Have you seen that film, by the way?
No, I
Don't watch
haven't
it.
seen
It's
it.
not for you.
I went to see Odyssey the other day. The Odyssey.
Who's that?
Matt Damon.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I've heard good
3
things.
hours.
Good.
Big and it's a dramatic film. Good.
Don't-
Not
don't-
in my top 5, but it's good.
What's your number 1?
Oh, Andy, that's always such a tough question. Just very quickly, Saving Private Ryan, I thought was just such an amazing film.
That's your number 1, is it?
Might be.
Okay, you can have that.
Thanks.
Jack Grealish has been left out of Man City's squad for their pre-season tour of Hong Kong. He's only just returned from a loan spell at Everton. Sean Dyche was alongside Johnny Owen, discussed his maverick personality.
I quite like a bit of arrogance, not arrogance, controlled arrogance, bit of maverick spirit, bit of an edge to players. On and off the pitch, I don't think that's a problem. But if it doesn't fit with what the business side of it is, because at the end of the day, it's fine when it fits. And I don't think there's a problem, mate, to be fair, with maverick players, but they have to fit and do the job.
Yeah.
You can only be a maverick if you're doing the job. There's not mavericks who weren't doing the job who become mavericks of a club because they get them out. They go, no, if you're not doing the job, you're not doing the job.
Yeah.
But no, most teams need a maverick or two.
Yeah, most well edited, that person. A top 6 Premier League club should be taking a chance on Grealish this summer. For me or not for me, Clive?
For me, I think
I agree with you.
I think Jack is such a talent, but he's had, I don't know, it feels like it's been sort of 18 months now to me with him hardly figuring or not playing enough. He's had a few injury problems. I hope he's had an enjoyable summer. I know he'll have had that, but I hope he's looked after himself. He's in good nick, good shape, and that before this window closes, someone comes and says to Jack, "Come on, here's an opportunity for you. Come and do it for us." Because I really do think he's got great ability, but it's time now for him to really, really throw himself at it 100%. Because if he doesn't, if this next 6 months is sort of fizzles out into nothing again, he's not playing much, then he's going to be in real danger of seeing his career disappear a bit.
I agree with you. On Drive, that show, not what it used to be. Rory Jennings and Liverpool fan Adeola Depot, presenter Adeola Depot, debated whether or not Liverpool should re-sign one of the club legends.
on one hand, you are talking about a Premier League icon. You're talking about one of the best players to have ever played for Liverpool. You're talking about somebody who at one point I genuinely believed was going to catch Ian Rush's insurmountable goal-scoring record for Liverpool. I thought he was actually going to get to it. He didn't get there, but I thought he could. But then you also have to try and remember that once it's over, it's over. We've seen countless footballers.
You think it's over?
I'm not...
No. I mean,
I probably do. Certainly at that level. Certainly at that level.
What, the numbers where he's hitting 30 a season?
I don't think he can play for Liverpool anymore. I don't think he can be playing... Like, it was bad last year.
And Liverpool to bring back free agent Mohamed Salah. For me or not for me, Clive?
Not for me.
No, I agree.
Only purely because, look, Liverpool have seen the best of an incredible spell by Mo Salah. Again, puts him in their legendary status players, and goodness me, Liverpool Football Club have had some so many of those, but he is rightfully earns a place in their probably in their top 10 all time. And but I don't believe it's the right thing to go and get him back now. They've had the best of him. Thanks very much, Mo. Let him move on with his life, and Liverpool will move on with theirs.
The last one is about the temperature. Now, temperatures across the UK. Be careful out there today. Expected to go as high as 33 degrees. Heat wave continues. Simple one. Golf or not golf? Is it for you or not for you, Clive?
I think we're at 33. We might just be at that point where it's a not for me.
No way.
Gets
Come
a bit
on.
too hot, doesn't
Put
it?
a cap on. Get some water in you.
No, it's true. It just does get a little bit hot.
But just be careful out there.
34s. With a nose like mine, which can quite easily attract sunshine.
Well, both of us, right?
Right. So I have to be a little bit careful. I'm not very good at putting lotion on, are you?
Where, put it on my nose?
Yeah.
Or just anywhere?
I don't.
I think it's easy when you put lotion on when you're golfing. It's just a little bit of arm, a little bit of leg.
Yeah,
it's not like when you're in your...
No, it's true. But I would have to say probably we're just at that point, I think, at 33s, 34 and where it's a not for me.
You're a disgrace.
Yeah.
I'm back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. You're not here.
I'm not.
A round of applause for Andy T over the last 2 days. You've been nothing short of magnificent. Thank you as always.
Thanks.
From one legend to another. Stuart Pearce, how about that? The legend that is Stuart Pearce will be alongside me.
He'll have a lot to say about Forest.
He will have loads to say about Forest. I hope so, otherwise we're in real trouble for 4 hours. Next up, Adam Cattrall and Peterborough United owner Darren McAntony will take you through the next 3 hours. Have a wonderful day. Be safe out there, my friends. It's very hot. Be safe.
Hopefully, they will continue that ascent with Bo Echo in the Sussex Stakes.
We lost you at the end there. Bo what?
Bo Echo. Oh, you did it last time, Andy.
It's boxing. I said it in the interview the other day. It's heavyweight boxing. He got caught by a fighter who's had 20 knockouts. Yes, albeit Prenga wasn't a hugely recognised name prior to that, but you don't get 20 knockouts, without being able to punch. And that's boxing. And the reality is, as AJ showed, it's getting back up from that and building your way back into the fight and finishing it the way he did. Did I expect that in the first round? No. But he showed his heart, his determination, and everything that's got him to this point in the sport.
Are you into boxing conspiracies?
No, I mean, is Simon Jordan under the desk somewhere?
He's on holiday this week, mate. But I've got his tweet.